Hello there, welcome back to not just any stream, because you might have noticed, you might be aware that today is the 30th of April. Maybe that date means nothing to you, but to me, as a LEGO Star Wars fan, every single year, 30th of April is spent with a lot of time scrolling through the internet, seeing what everyone else is picking up for May 4th. Well, this year's a little different because I was modifying the ARC 170 earlier today. I've only done the modifications to half of the ship, so I couldn't forget any for this stream. But we are going to be working through, as well as everything else that's going on today, working through some modifications, basically getting rid of a few stickers on the right hand side, or both of the sides of this ARC 170. But taking a look at the droid inside, hello there to everyone in chat, by the way. I'm not ignoring you, just going over what we've got coming up, enticing everyone who's going to be around. We've got the droid with the hollow back. Last stream, I showed off a few different decals. I'm pretty sure it was last stream. Showed off a few different decals, and the decals weren't all that. I used the complete wrong color for the back of these astromechs. As you can see, I went with black outlines. Yeah, no, LEGO didn't pick black outlines for a reason. It doesn't look too good. And I've got the R2-D2 LEGO set behind me somewhere. I think it's just down there in the unit, actually. And I took a little inspiration from that, recolored them all to be light bluish grey. Actually, I recolored them to be a nice little silver. LEGO used a similar silver that is on the head of some of these astromechs, and also, yeah, R2-QT isn't looking too cute with that head. That's an old me decal. Definitely need to fix that up. So I do have all the decals ready. You can see I have a little pot of water as well, so I can show you exactly how I use the water slide decals. It sounds a bit confusing, but honestly, it's so easy and so much cheaper than customs. I urge you to give it a go if you haven't already. It might not be for your taste, but they're so cheap. Give them a go and you might turn out to actually like them. The reason I'm decaling the back of these droids is because R2 and Chopper, there's actually 3 droids. There is 3 droids that LEGO have given back printing to. We've got R2-D2, which is kind of common, loads of sets now. I think the first one was one of the big R2-D2s, or one of those UCS style sets. More on that later. We got Chopper in the Ghost and Phantom 2. Is Chopper just as loved as R2? I feel like Chopper's getting there, if not already. R2-D2 has a slight head start. And we've also got a Christmas version of R2-D2 from that 2022 advent calendar that we built last year, and also comes with that exclusive clip in lime green for the gunship that came in that set, which is really funny that an advent calendar has an exclusive piece that to date, 3 years later, has still not come out in any other set. Crazy. They could have definitely added that on the wings here instead of these 1x1 tiles. But on top of adding a back to this green droid and fixing up the other ones, we're going to fix up the ARC, and I do have a clone trooper and battle droid. Okay, droid representation is a clone trooper and battle droid battle pack here, which we will be building if we've got time for, and there's a few other things we can work on. I've also been building a few other LEGO sets which will be coming up. They'll be coming up. I'll probably not show them off in today's stream, but they will be shown off at some point. So I think it's cool to start a few minutes early with this. If you are wondering what I'm going to get May 4th, because that question's going to be asked quite a lot this stream, I have a feeling. I'm looking to get what am I looking to get? The U-Wing, definitely a day one purchase. Definitely getting some of those 3PO key rings for the silver leg. We do have a few different 3POs back here. I've recently upgraded, updated, messed around with this display. So we've got all of my 3POs here. Out of all of them, there's a limit of 5 on lego.com. I don't think I'm even going to need 5 of these. We've got The Force Awakens should have a gold leg, and I think that goes for the Rebuild the Galaxy does have a silver leg, but the Rise of Skywalker one probably also has a gold leg. So we've got Rebuild the Galaxy. This C-3PO right here, the first gold one, is fully gold. That's from the prequel trilogy. Then we've got Original Trilogy. We've got the 2 Christmas variations. And then we've got Skywalker Saga down front. 5 key rings. Do I need to buy 5? I am kind of breaking down the minifigures by buying 5. But I think it would be cool if all these C-3POs that need that dual molded leg, and also, yeah, it looks pretty cool. Better than the little printing that we get that isn't really silver. So I might be picking up all 5 of those key rings. Definitely picking up Ahsoka's Eater. Can't believe I don't have that. After getting the Arc, definitely need to pick up Ahsoka's Eater. A few Luke keyrings. We'll see where I'm at with the total there. I might just max out Luke and 3PO keyrings to reach that threshold. But I'm also looking at picking up the Slave One. I'm questioning it. I'm questioning it for that gift with purchase. I definitely think picking up now would be better than picking it up later. Get some points. No double points. I'm not sure if LEGO are doing double points. We've seen a few double point, quadruple point sets that are coming out in the US. Hopefully that does apply elsewhere. No news on what's to come later this year yet. At least not at the start of this stream. Who knows what will be released throughout. See if we've got any other rumors, any other leaks. Have we heard of anything? Update on Quinjet minifigures for Marvel. Anyone interested in that? We're getting Hawkeye. That's the only minifigure that counts after being left out of that Marvel logo. Huh. May 4th sales. Let's have a look. 2 hours ago. See if anything looks good on here. So these are all the sales rumoured for. We've got Australia and USA. No UK, but if you are in Australia, let's have a little look. Midi-scale. Oh, Midi-scale Tantive 4. It came with stickers, not printed parts, so I don't think many people going that. That's got $15 off. The Pod Race diorama, that's got nearly $20 off. Rebuild the Galaxies TIE Fighter and X-Wing, which I'll admit is probably the weakest of all the sets, but it's still a good set. That's got $27 off. It's nearly got $30 off. That ain't bad. The AT-TE Walker, if you haven't picked that up, that is on a $35 discount. These sound really good, but I'm aware that Aussie dollars are a little different than Great British pounds. Venator, the Venator UCS set, here we go. Some of the big sets is from $9.99 down to $849.99. UCS Razor Crest, another one from $900 down to $720. The X-Wing UCS set is from $370 to $296. The Onyx Cinder has also been reduced. Actually, that one ain't half bad because the Onyx Cinder is the same as the AT-TE Walker. And this reduction's like an extra $12 less than that. And then the Bark Speeder Escape down from 40 to 32. Oh, that's not really a sale. USA, let's see what you got over there. The Razor Crest again, down from 600 to 480. I feel like that's been down a little more. The Ultimate Collector Series Razor Crest, I do feel like I've seen some really good sales. Has anyone else seen some really good Razor Crest sales? I feel like I've seen that everywhere reduced, even the Disney store. The Disney store doesn't reduce its sets a lot, but we've seen the Razor Crest, we've seen the Venator, and I want to say there's another UCS set here in the UK. The Tantive Midi-scale is reduced, the Pod Race diorama, and the AT-TE Walker again. Ain't half bad, 15% across the last three there. I didn't realise it shows the percentages. So you're looking at 15-20%. I just feel like a lot of these sets were expensive to start off with and cheap enough anyway. A load of Book Nooks. A load of Book Nooks coming out from LEGO. We've got Harry Potter. That one's just been revealed by a Russian retailer. That's looking quite good. I like all the drawings that have been uploaded to it. And we've also got Sherlock, just been revealed on lego.com. A few Minecraft sets. Where are all these? I guess it's May 4th, so you know Star Wars might not be coming out too soon. The minifigures for the battle pack, yeah, they're looking all right. They're looking all right. I like the fact that we've got an exclusive clone, but we'll have to see. Wait on that. Oh, Doug Bricks has posted images about all of them. I tell you what, Plo Koon's Starfighter isn't looking too much different to mine. Definitely picking that one up for the minifigure alone. I think the same with Darth Maul. I'll probably pick that one up for the minifigure alone, unless we can get the head a lot cheaper elsewhere. But yeah, nothing really else going on with Star Wars. There is a new gift with purchase that is coming after the Star Wars May 4th gift with purchases, which is a shame to see, but it's this Space Baby, which does look so cool. But let's get into these decals. So reason Plo Koon is here because I did decal Plo Koon before. If you were in that stream, you'll have seen that the front of Plo Koon is not looking too great. Is this camera even on? Is this just frozen on me? Hello there. The Book Nooks are really, I Oh wait, have I seen I might have seen the Funko ones. I might have seen the Funko ones. All right, let's see what's up with this. Let's see what's up with this camera. Oh, there you go. It just closed. So that should be all right. Ready? Bit of magic. Are the droids? Hello there. It seems the close cam's not working. It's always one of them. It's always one of them. Let's see if we can get this going. Seems to be fine. Have I like accidentally locked this? Do I need to refresh, or is this just not working for me? All right, let's go big, and let's see. No, the camera is just completely frozen. Might be a connection issue. Let's see if we can plug it in and get it going again. So what are we buying May 4th? That's coming up. Anyone staying up late? We've got, what, 7 o'clock. So we've got 5 hours here in the UK until, should have had a little timer on screen. 5 hours to go, but I can't wait. There's something exciting. Even though I never really buy anything for May 4th or May 1st, I still usually stay up, see what everyone else is doing. All right, is this good now? Is this good? Is the camera going to behave, or? Hey, there we go. All right, as you can see, we got Plo Koon here, and Plo Koon's printing whilst being blurry and a little delayed. All right, can we get a little focus on that? You can see right by the belt buckle, there's a little scratch. I scratched it when putting it on. Would I want a Commander or a Captain Gonk Trooper with the color green? Ooh, Commander Doom is green, so I'd probably go with a Commander. But I have scratched the decal just there. These decals will be available to download and print yourself if you would like it. And if you are interested in perhaps buying some decals, I could look at sending a few of these away, but we are going to scratch this decal off. Well, hopefully not scratch. This is official Lego. Do not be confused. I said about the Starfighter, actually. Let's bring the Starfighter out. But when I was talking about this Starfighter, I said it wasn't Lego. What I meant is it isn't an official Lego set. This has just been revealed today by Duck Bricks. We don't actually have the Plo Koon Starfighter set out, but it's built with, for the most part, official Lego bricks. There are a few 3D printed elements that are just a bit too rare, and you know, I don't have every single piece, but we are going to remove this decal, which is very, very hard to do. The best thing about removing a decal, however, is that it doesn't leave any leave. I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to say, but the best thing about removing a decal is it doesn't leave any sticker residue. There's nothing. Look at that. That is a nice clean torso now on Plo Koon. Nothing there. And then we've also got the decal. You could probably try reapplying this. I'm going to be honest, this one's going straight in my bin, so we're not going to be using that, and I'll probably end up with a little paper pile somewhere on the desk. But I do have a brand new decal right here, and I'm going to show you in live. This is not pre-recorded. I can see you all in the chat. This is live here on YouTube and Twitch. We're going to drop the decal. We're going to drop. Okay, I see how it is. The camera does not want to work. We're going with a big cam here. So we got Plo Koon here. All the droids. There are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 droid decals. We are going to do the front and back of Plo Koon's droid. I remember someone left a comment on the last stream, I think it was, with the name of Plo Koon's droid. I think it's R7. What is it? R7F5? I think R7F5 works. But we're taking Plo Koon's torso here, this little decal here, and dropping it for about 30 seconds. I'm not going to time this. I should probably time this to make sure this works. So in 30 seconds, we're going to take that out. The water slide decal, hence the name, you put it in water and it slides right off. We then, oh, no problems. I'm going to wait, see if my phone cools down, but it should be okay in a minute. We've got about 10 seconds left, and then it slides right off onto the torso, which I think is pretty cool. The reason I'm choosing this over stickers, you can try and make your own stickers at home. All right, 30 seconds. Is it ready? You can tell if it's ready by moving it around between your fingers. Don't worry about getting any you know, finger grease. As long as you wash your hands beforehand, it should be perfectly fine. And then right on the torso, it's going to be very fiddly, so it might take me a second, but you slide it off of the paper. I was hoping to give a close-up, but you have to try and follow my verbal instructions here. Straight off the paper. You do have a few seconds if you've done it too low, just like I did, to wiggle it around and then remove the paper. Make sure it's flattened down, no creases. Again, like I said, you got a few seconds to move this around and adjust it as you wish. And voila, Plo Koon's got a torso that isn't scratched up. Can't believe I scratched up the first torso, but there we go. And I'd show you up close. We can try and get a close up. You won't be able to see it as clearly, but Plo Koon does have now his torso. It's a bit lopsided, I think, on the right hand side. Is it? No, it looks all right. I can rarely tell when things are lopsided. So if it is, you have to forgive me on that one. But now it's time for the droids. I don't know what's happening with the other camera. We seem to have a few different problems, don't we? Week in, week out. Oh, it's back up. Is it? Yeah, it might not be the camera. Hello there. Load of new subscribers joining in. Love to see it. We are approaching 10,000 subscribers. So at 10k, for any of you that are new and might not have heard me say it like a million times, we are approaching 10k subs, and at 10,000 subscribers, we will be building a UCS set, an Ultimate Collector Series set, and by the looks of it, you all want to see Jango Fett Slave 1, which is why I'm questioning, do I add that to my order? Do I order it May 4th when I can get the gift with purchase? Because we've just hit 8,000 subs. Thanks for all that. Honestly, I have no words for how quickly this channel is growing anymore. We'll be building that minifigure scale Star Destroyer in absolutely no time. But whilst there's a promo on, you know, might even, because it hits that threshold again, it might even hit me a second Camino training facility, is it called? The gift with purchase on over May. So that might be a smart thing to do. You might be right there. And then we can also, as soon as we hit 10k, we've got so much lined up. If you haven't seen the schedule over in the community tab, I won't be able to bring it up, but I can read you some of the sets that we are building. May 4th, we're going live for a bonus stream, building R2-D2. Actually, this Saturday, we're going live, building the U-Wing as well. Before we build the new U-Wing, everything goes right tonight, the next week. So next Saturday, we'll be building the new U-Wing. We've got the old U-Wing, we've got R2-D2, we've got Fortnite on Wednesdays as well. Game night on a Wednesdays. Might do a bit more of that, depending on how far behind we fall. And it also means, because the Fortnite Star Wars event starts in 2 days' time, which is then a Friday leading on to Saturday, Sunday. Should I do a bonus stream on Friday? Should I do a bonus stream kicking off the Star Wars Fortnite event? You'll have to let me know. But yes, we've then got Ahsoka's Eater. We've got the Dark Falcon being built, and obviously if we hit 10k subscribers in May, which would be absolutely mental, we'll also be building the Slave 1. I have left this in here for way longer than 30 seconds. I have no idea how long, but it just goes to show, if you do get easily distracted like me, it's not a problem. I coat this in nail polish, actually. If you are into decals, definitely give nail polish a try, because rather than sliding off the decal and it being a bit flimsy, it gives it a little bit of a firmer hold, especially when attaching it to things like droids that are quite circular. It still bends around them, no problem, but it just holds their shape a bit more sturdier. So even when you're wiggling it off as awkward as I just did, that was not good. I'm happy I didn't have the close-up cam for that. It still holds its squared off shape and doesn't have any creases in. Actually, this white looks a bit whiter than Legos. Have I made the same mistake they did in Tantive Boarding? But there we go. Our green Astromech R4P44. Yeah, it's top coat. Don't forget the download update time. I might be updating it all day. That could be a problem, but you're not going to be able to see it. You have to take my word for it. We've now got R4P44 with a back. I don't see why Lego don't. With all the Lego sets that R2-D2 comes in, it's a simple recolor. Okay, maybe for the new R4D5, it's a little harder to do because there are a few different panels differently colored to it, but they could even just whack the R2D2 printing on. I know Lego goes by the motto. I know Lego has their motto, only the best is good enough, but we've seen a few different things to say otherwise. R2QT, does R2QT have like a metal dome or a white head? I thought it was a white dome. Have I got that? Am I mistaken? R2QT, no, it is sort of a metal dome. I think I was thinking of the other one for the white head. Well, I have printed this on white backed paper. I might have to switch it to white and see if it looks any better, and then I'll reprint it at some point onto a grey dome. But I'm reworking the way I do the domes. Hopefully this will make it easier if you do want to try and copy something like this at home. Let's have a little look. We probably can we get this to work? I have one last try for the close-up cam, and if not, oh, it might work. This won't be a problem when we're playing games like Fortnite. We won't need the second camera. Maybe that's why it's overheard us talking about it behind its back. Yeah, I don't know how long this stream will go. I just thought whilst I'm upgrading the ARC 170, might as well save that for the live stream. All these decals, it'll be interesting for some of you to take a look at how they work. Okay. Okay, we might be back. We might be back in business. Over on Twitch. Watch the Twitch comments. Oh yeah, I am seeing the Twitch comments. Have you always been on Twitch? The top ones show up as YouTube. Oh, OBS is caught slacking. Hello there over to Twitch. Hello there, YouTube. Welcome. Now, we've got the close cam. No, it's not catching up. Hey, there we go. You can see. I don't know what's up with this camera. Let's see if we can get... I think it's when I try it. Oh, okay. It's focused. So this is Plo Koon's droid. This is R7. We were speaking very, very briefly about all the astromechs that Lego have made. We've got an R1 astromech in Bucket from Resistance. We've got an R2, R2D2, amongst others. We've got an R3. I can't remember who the R3 is. I'm trying to think if Chopper's a C1 rather than an R series. It's a bit like BB-8. They're still astromechs, but they're just a different line, a different series, I guess, a different run of these droids. We've also got R4s, Kenobi's droid, the green one just here. We've got R5s. Again, can't name any R5s. R6s we don't have. Snap Wexley does have an R6. R7s, R8s we have been given in Lego, and then R9s, we haven't even got a canonical image of an R9 astromech. Thank you. I've realised Vader's holding up the mic as well, which does look pretty cool. Works in the t-shirts favour a lot. We don't have any R9 images. We've got Arnie from the Legends. Oh, Arnie was Luke's whilst R2 was out on, I think it was one of the stories that Mara Jade is in, but I can't remember. Wikipedia will know. Trust Wikipedia to know which story that's from. But yeah, we don't have any R6s and R9s. Where are they? Where are they? We've got a Snap Wexley X-Wing. We could have got an R6, but no, we didn't. So this is R7 something something, Plo Koon's droid. We've just done Plo's torso. Whilst we're here, let's show that off. The torso no longer has that scratch on the bottom. And again, these decals, they're up on the website. These decals are ready to purchase, but I just need to get some really nice images with the non-damaged versions. Again, if you are this decal, all right, this looks like the normal torso of a droid. This looks like the body of a droid, nothing special, nothing underneath. But if I peel this away, hopefully as easy as I did the last one, if I can find the right corner to go at it. Come on. This one seems to be, I don't know where the decal ends and the torso begins, but I do have this decal stuck over, there we go. Bottom corner's better. watch this be just impossible to peel apart. Now we've got the camera working, this is just not going to come off. But once I get this off, you'll see underneath that this decal is stuck on top of an R2-D2 torso. There you go. R2's coming through, and the white brick once again. Amazing work Lego are doing to hide these white Lego bricks from the camera. Any little bit of light and they just seem to disappear. All right, this one's proving a little harder. I've torn this up quite a bit. There are a few scratches through this, so you do want to make sure whatever you're using as a top coat, you are applying it to the best of your ability. And I spent minutes applying the top coat to these decals. Each of them definitely got a nice top cover. So it's not as easy as just print and stick for these, because you are, well, because I print with an inkjet print, an inkjet? Are they called inkjet printers? Because I'm using an inkjet printer, I am having to apply a top coat to these. It acts the same as that vinyl covering on a Lego sticker, except for the fact that these decals are so much thinner than when you watch the Twitch chat. I do read both chats, they come through, whether OBS marks. Okay, yep, this camera is busted. Well, this here is R2-D2. If you're able to see the little bit of torso on there, I guess we can get this to work. I'll probably upload this as its own video. You might have seen the other one that I did with the deltas, and I'll have some close-ups of them there. So if you do want to have a little look at them, we can go on there. I am reading Twitch chat. It is popping up as YouTube. Let me refresh it. All right, there we go. Now we've got the Twitch icons. What did I miss? Did I miss something on Twitch chat? Yes. Oh, about custom Darth Revan. I really want to make a custom Darth Revan, but I've seen Filoni Clones sales. I can't remember whose design it is. It's not available anymore, but not the Lego Darth Revan. There's an upgraded one, which looks pretty cool. It's Darth Revan if Lego made him for the 25th anniversary rather than all the way back 2020, I want to say around 2010. What was it? 2013, 2014, we got Lego Revan. It feels like it was about then. Let me try to remember when I put these in. The back of Plo's droid isn't too bad because I am updating the front with, I don't think I am updating it with different colours actually. I think I've stuck with a black for Plo's droid. And these will be bundled. I'm not trying to break the bank, you know, Lego's expensive enough. I am bundling Plo and his droid decals, and then all the other droids will probably be part of the same bundle. There we go. That decal came off all in one. Perfect. We like the back decal. Has this been in for 30 seconds? I think so. Yeah, it's ready. The one thing with these decals is you've got to make sure you don't cut too close to the top or bottom. Otherwise, you won't cover. So for instance, I'm decaling, actually, this one and R2QT is decaled on top of an R2-D2 torso. We get so many R2s. You can spare an R2-D2 for a custom droid, especially one like this that we're getting Plo, we're getting the head of this droid in the microfighter, but we're not getting the torso. How can Lego not give us a torso? Well, at least they haven't revealed that they are giving us the torso. They might surprise us. We've been talking about that hidden Star Wars minifigure. What if that hidden Star Wars minifigure is actually just the body of an astromech? That would be pretty cool. I'd be down for that. And that's looking a lot cleaner. So how I cover these decals is with, what's this? I just use the typical Superdrug nail polish. If you're in the UK, it's nice and cheap, does the job, and apply a nice generous coat over it. It's gonna thin out, don't worry about it. Apply a nice generous coat over it, and like I said, not only does it protect it, you can spend loads on a spray, but it's going to do the same thing. It also keeps its shape. It stops it folding up and creasing, which using a lot of the different decal coaters and top coats was a big problem when I was trialing it out at the start. And rather than fixing, you know, the way I handle things and being so careful with it, you might as well get something that just gets rid of the problem completely. With the heads of the astromechs, which are a little difficult, because rather than just the one decal, I've split them up into three. back out the 3 of them. Because it's circular, it's easier doing 3 different segments rather than trying to decal the entire thing. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward other than that. All right, make sure we've got the back for the back. It's also quite cool decaling, not just droids, minifigures, and the likes. Commander or Captain Gonk, and M on the helmet or the torso. Oh, it's like a Master Moldy Gonk. That'd be pretty cool to see. Commander or Captain, though. I don't know. Rex was a Captain. Doom. I'm pretty sure Doom's a Commander. What if we just have a Master Gonk? Does Master outrank Commander or Doom? I don't know. Does Master outrank? Because I feel like Cody at some points outranked Kenobi, but then at other points Kenobi outranked Cody, because I know Cody was the commander, then Kenobi was above him, but then I think Cody was in charge of the multiple legions and then Kenobi was in charge of the sector, something like that. I'll have to go back to my Clone Wars Grand Army video where we showed all the different ranks in the Grand Army of the Republic. But I'm pretty sure Cody, yep, there you go. Experience outranks everything. Couldn't have said it any better. Who has more experience though, Cody or Kenobi? I suppose you look at it 2 ways, because Cody always seemed to fight besides Kenobi, and Kenobi was around longer than Cody. Unless, well yeah, even Kenobi was at the first Battle of Geonosis. Yeah, Kenobi has more experience. So I guess Kenobi really outranks every clone for that matter. Alright, which droid should we do next? Have we done the green one? We've done the green one. And it sucks you're unable to see it, but that grey, well that silver colour definitely adds up a bit closer to what LEGO use. These colours are actually themselves taken from the LEGO palette. That is true. So Cody learnt from Kenobi, and the whole Jedi way was to make your apprentice smarter, wiser, a lot more than you were. So would Kenobi have... I guess he didn't really train Cody. Cody, Kenobi, this is getting very confusing with all the names. Let's do Kenobi's droid next. That's only fitting. Again, come on, I've been one. Oh, no. I kind of tore it. Well, oh, can we look back? Hey, off in one, a little spiral. I did tear it at first, but we still managed to do the impossible. Yeah, Cody. That is a good debate, that. Kenobi has more experience in terms of Jedi and that, but even real world, I feel like Kenobi was pointing a lot more. We see Cody do a bit more in terms of action, in terms of fighting in the Clone Wars. So Kenobi, Cody, I think they're probably level. You could argue for both things, but the one thing Kenobi gets more experience on is Maul, is Satine, is, you know, Anakin turned Vader. That's something that Cody will never get. So that's a good point. Lightside Revan. We need KOTOR sets from LEGO. We need KOTOR. I mean, I say KOTOR merch. Funko are on KOTOR. We're getting Black Series. Hasbro's minifigure line. They're doing KOTOR minifigures. We do have Malak in the R2-D2 set, which is just down there off screen. Actually, you probably just see it. It's this box far left here. But we haven't got anything. We could get at least one set. If LEGO are doing one set for Andor each season, we could get a KOTOR set. But I wonder if LEGO are waiting to, you know, really go big when we do get some more KOTOR content. That is wishful thinking if we're getting more KOTOR content. We do have that series that has now become a game that's still in the works. Do we think we're ever seeing that? Is that project seeing the light of day? Or are they slowly just going to backtrack? I wouldn't mind seeing a show based on it, kind of like what we're seeing a lot recently with, well, we've got like Minecraft movie games going on the big screen, but also in The Last of Us. Is anyone watching The Last of Us? Because that's a top quality game that's being turned into honestly a top quality show. I'm interested how they go about season 3 of that. Do you know anywhere by a replica of King Arthur's steel plate gauntlets from Monty Python? You could probably, you know, I'm being dead serious when I say that. You could probably find someone on Rebrickable that's uploaded instructions to build in Lego. Genuinely, I'm sure someone's done something from Monty Python. Made a custom Revan mask from cardboard. Oh, sweet. I went head first when I was creating this Clone Trooper helmet. That is handmade by me. Handmade, 3D printed. Yeah, handmade on a keyboard perhaps. But yeah, that was me pushing myself into the deep end. All the time and effort that went into that. Worth it. Worth it though. Hey, by the next Star Wars celebration, you'll have a full Revan costume. How cool would that look? Light side Revan. I guess the Revan mask is the same, isn't it? Do we know light side Revan's mask is the same? I still need to finish. I started playing back through the KOTOR games, and I got to the second one, and I don't think I complete the second game, you know. I completed the first one, and then I remember starting KOTOR 2. I have played them previously, but when replaying them, I don't remember. Oh, it is modified. His light side helmet is modified. I wonder if it's I wonder if we could get like Revan's mask or something like that. Oh, that looks so good. I wonder if we could get Revan's mask in Lego, because there's so much space. There is so much space for Lego masks. I don't think the helmet's stopping with Kylo or Jango. The fact that we've got a Jango Fett helmet after getting Boba, after getting Din, just goes to show, you know, Lego don't resell older sets. So if you want a Mandalorian, even if you want like a Din Djarin helmet, you've got the Jango. I guess you've already got Din Djarin's helmet instructions. But you could also get that for the instructions and try and piece it together yourself. Or spray paint the thing. I've seen a handful of people do that. I wouldn't dare. Lego's too expensive to be spray painting. There was a back bit he cut off so he could put the mask on faster. So I guess the front of the mask is probably close enough that you could then use that for different costumes. This decal, I am so happy. Oh, well, that's fallen to pieces. So happy I'm finally getting rid of this. If anyone saw the original R2-QT, it was cursed. It was. I mean, it was all right, but it was like that old Lego droid. Maybe if anyone's got a well-loved R2-D2 keyring, that's what R2-QT looked like. This is an old R2-D2, so I've got so many R2-D2s that this one I'm using for R2-QT is actually a, what, 2010s era R2-D2, because even back then R2 was coming in a lot of sets. The arms, the left arm's even a little looser. I've probably played with this so much, but we are repurposing here with the decals. Again, they will be available. I'll put out a community post probably to let you know where you can find them. Used the Lego Mandalorian helmet and painted it to look like his mask. Oh, that's a good idea. I wonder if you could do something with Vader's helmet as well. If you were to cut out, because you know how Vader's helmet goes, you've got the neck and then you've got the dome on top. I wonder if you try to cut out Vader's helmet. I'm going to have to 3D print a few Vader helmets here, because I've always wanted to cut it out for Kenobi or Ahsoka, the different sides of Vader's mask. We've got enough Vaders, we can be messing around with him. But I wonder if you cut out that faceplate, you could cut it so that it fits in, or maybe even glue it to the neck bracket so that then you could have the dome on top. I'll have to look into that. All right, this is where the fun begins, but this is also the complicated part. We'll do the back of No, we won't. We'll go straight in with the head. So we've got this round little decal that looks like a pineapple slice. That's going on top. These are all so tiny. Managed to work with Plozdroid. I'm wondering though how these 3 sections. So this right here, that's the eye. That little dot at the bottom of your screen, that's one decal. I might have to use my tweezers to pick these up. This is the back of the head. And then because they don't quite meet up, we've also got the side. This is the, I guess we've got the left side and the right side. There we go. But I feel like that's been 30 seconds. Right, the difficult part is getting this out of the water without it slipping off the back of the paper, because this is the hardest decal to apply by any means. You've got to slip it off and apply it around that stud hole at the top without it, you know, curling up, without it warping in any other way, because I might prepare for streams, but I do only have one of these decals. So let's try not to mess it up. And because it is around a domed piece, we have to stretch it just a little bit over the top of itself. So we're overlapping a tiny little bit, but it all smooths out when it is stuck in. Do we even have to overlap it? If you cut it just before one of the white stripes, you don't notice this overlaps. It's exactly what I did with Plozdroid last time. Oh, lovely. And I've also added, there's a little that I missed on the first decal. There is a little like eye, a little lens or something coming out of the top of each Astromech's head. There we go. Not looking too bad. You can kind of see the top of it. That's looking good. And now, actually, shouldn't this be around the back? Where is it on an Astromech's head? Is it around the back? Because I just put it over the front. Maybe we can pop this off. That's a good thing. If you do put on the decal backwards, even with the Astromech torsos, doesn't matter which way the Astromech was before. Let's flatten this back down. You can just flip it around, and there you go. It's now around the back. Thankfully, I could do that. And we're going to let this one dry before we apply the next decal. It's important, if you are putting decals next to each other, you let them dry front and back of a minifigure. It doesn't matter too much, but whilst we're letting that dry, let's make sure we've got everything. Later on, once we've finished with R2QT, we will be putting this away. Let's do that now. We will be taking a look at the ARC 170. I really didn't like the stickers. If you watched us build this last week, I really didn't like the stickers of the ARC 170, and I have got rid of them completely. I say last week. That was Saturday. Was that Saturday? So the improvements we have made, I wasn't able to get, maybe I was able to get the minifigures down, but I was taking a look at removing that plate. It is doable. It's a bit complicated. You have to pull up so much, and it's really not that worth it just for minifigures to not fit anyway. You'd have to hollow out the bottom just a little bit more, but at least we've got one minifigure that fits in the front of the ARC. There's some stickers on here that really makes me question what LEGO were going for. This sticker on the side right here, LEGO time and time again say that, you know, they don't want to use too many printed parts because it stains the bricks, or stickers. Stickers are included in that because they don't want to stain the element. For children that pick up this set, they want it to be used for other things. This set is not proof of that. This set says everything but that one thing. So we've got a sticker on the side here, which has, you know, a few different separations, like the bricks next to it. And then we've got one dark red stripe with 2 boxes in. We've then got a sticker, which is just dark bluish grey. These can be tiles. What are LEGO doing? This should be a dark bluish grey tile down here, which is what I've done on my modifications. You know, literally everything I have said. And there's also the fact that there should be a gap in this wing here. I understand completely why LEGO didn't. It's not great having a gap right where your Technic connector is. It's not sturdy, and it's actually impossible looking at where the Technic pin is. You can move the Technic pin just over a little bit, top and bottom, but it's still not great as a plaything. It makes it a lot weaker because you've got the wings connected at one end. So what I've done instead is just added some dark bluish grey to represent space between it. it didn't seem that hard, and it also looks a bit more accurate on top because it looks like you've got a gap in the wing here. This is just dark bluish grey tile. Shouldn't have said that. Now you're seeing dark bluish grey tile, but it does look a bit better than just having this white brick here. And I feel like it was a little something that the ship was missing. I haven't done it to the underside. You can do it to the underside, but it's the exact same thing as we're going to do on top. Anyway, this decal should have dried. Let's go with the eye first. The eye is the most important part. Everything else can be lined up after the eye. Arguably, the eye should also go on last because it'd be on top. The decal paper I'm using for this, because I'm going over the torsos of R2, is an opaque white sheet of paper. You can use translucent if you've got some spare plain, or perhaps you want to scrub off R2's print. I quite like this paper because it means I don't have to damage the actual Lego minifigure in R2-D2 or the Lego pieces that create any of the characters. I am excited for Plo Koon's Delta. I am looking forward to picking this up, even though, you know, I've built it now. I've built what I think it should look like, and it's a great size for a Delta. I wouldn't mind getting more Deltas like that. The one thing we need to be getting, though, at that price point, the ship aside, we need to be getting the droid's body. We're getting a droid head in the set. We can't have a droid head without a body. That's morbid. We do need to be getting the droid body. I've seen a few mechs as well. Mechs coming with 2 minifigures. Lego took the opportunity later this year with the Maul mech, that is basically confirmed at this point, to release the Clone Wars Darth Maul. Perfect opportunity to put Ahsoka in it. Better yet, some arm printing for Ahsoka. We've seen arm printing for Ahsoka in the T16 and in the Duel of Peridia, both of which Ahsoka is exclusive to. Hold on. Ahsoka only came in those 2 sets. Yet Ahsoka has arm printing. Rex has arm printing, but Rex came in 2 sets. Plo Koon doesn't have arm printing, but I guess it's more Revenge of the Sith than Clone Wars. But it's interesting that Ahsoka does have arm printing in both those sets, even though she only comes in that one. And likewise, the Arc 170, we'll go back to it. 3x3 round tiles on the side, printed, 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 printed. But the stickered element next to it, not printed. Does that not make sense to anyone else? I feel like Lego should be definitely printing any piece they use 4 or more times. And yes, the Tantive as well should have all of those back 2x4 tiles all printed. I think it's definitely necessary, and we've forgotten about the decal. So the decal has come off the paper. You've got to be extra careful with this, but thankfully that's why I use the nail polish, so that it does hold its shape and should go on. Look at that, so easy. Where's the eye? Basically in the center. So we'll line that up, make sure it folds around with the dome, which is the trickiest part. The original droid I did for Plo Koon actually curved, like the decal itself curved, and I think that's probably the way to go about it, because I mean, it don't look bad. Let's finish it before we start insulting poor R2-QT over here. Maybe what we should have done is cut some little slits just into the top of this. Is it too late to try? Alright, I think we'll let this one dry out, and there'll be two, 3 bumps. That's going to annoy me, but we can always come back to this if the next bit works. So, what we should be able to do... Oh, it's got a little wrinkly face. Yeah, that is going to bug me. Well, there you go. At least the eye... Oh no, it's wobbly now. Right. There we go. So what I'm going to do with these other ones is get my scissors and just place some little cuts in the top of this so that we can angle it as domed, as rounded off as this dome. There's a reason Lego don't do stickers for these elements. Decals, really not a good choice, but if we place little slits in the top, it should give us enough movement, especially in the middle of certain squared off elements. So I'm going to place 4. This is quite a long one for the back here. I'm going to place 4 different cuts, and let's see. Let's fish out this other little bit of paper. There we go. So May 4th. I don't feel like May 4th has been as big this year for everything going on, and it's because of everything's going on. I feel like May 4th has gone quite under the radar. Make and takes. I haven't seen Grogu's pod advertised anywhere. Lego did show off a... There he is. Lego did show off this Grogu make and take. It's on their website for Lego stores, and usually that then applies to other stores, at least here in the UK. I haven't seen anyone doing this Grogu pod, which is a little disappointing to see. There is going to be a May 4th event in Smiths this year, so I have to drop by one of those and see if I can pick it up. This is for the left hand side. I need to cut a bit more off this. This one's way too long. No, come on. Come on. It's harder to cut it once you have placed it in the water, so I learnt my lesson there. But this goes straight on the back here. There we go. That's looking better. No creases, but it's still rounded off. So if you want to place these droid decals... Oh, I shouldn't have cut it, because now the line's too short at the bottom. If you do want to place these droid decals, be sure to cut the tops of them just a little bit. I'll try to hide the scissors from YouTube. Do not want this being striked. Oh, there you go. You can cut the decals once they've been placed on. Just make sure not to cut like the droid's eye off or anything like that, just in case you do crease it, you know, and it doesn't go back exactly how it was. But let's place this down. I think this is this what I did with the original sticker? I'm having deja vu to doing this for another droid character. Was this what I did to the original R2QT that was a just a fancied glorified decal sticker or a vinyl sticker that we placed over the top? Maybe. And then once again, snip in little just little cuts into the top of this droid. All right, that's not going to be a great cut there. Submerge it for 30 seconds, slides right off onto the character, and then we'll do the back decal once we know everything else is good. There's a little gap around, but maybe one day we'll have earned enough on this channel to invest in like a UV printer, or better yet, a pad printer, which would just be so much better for these droids. In terms of the pieces you need for the ARC 170, again, we've tried to keep it basic. You've already seen a few of the wedges and holes that we looked at when we were actually building the ARC 170. There's a few slopes, mostly elements that have been included in this set before, or at least are included in similar ones. I guess the most far-fetched element is this 3-length bar right here in the engine. I think that's probably the hardest element to get your hands on, but you'll probably have a tub of those sitting somewhere. The hardest part about it is probably the fact that it's in grey. I don't know if dark grey is any easier to pick up, but any of the greys, light bluish grey, dark bluish grey, if you've got a nice silver 3-length bar, that'd be perfect, because that's exactly the colour we're trying to replicate. Oh, it lines up perfectly. That was super satisfying. It doesn't line up at the front, but it does line up at the back. And I cannot begin to describe how satisfying that was. That was nice. Oh, it kind of dips in the back. Can I bring you up? There you go. And maybe pull you down in the middle. Yeah, that ain't half bad. That's a lot better than it was, that's for sure. And that stops. So for Plo Koon's droid, we have quite a big gap on either side. This has reduced that significantly and isn't quite 360-degree coverage. I'll probably have to extend them a little bit. But that being said, I'll probably cut them off a bit short as I was cutting them down. So we now have an R2QT. We have, no, we don't. Because here's the back of R2QT. I've completely forgot it. Oh dear. Right, so we've got the back of R2QT in the works. I am not going to remember any of these droids once I'm done with this. This is all going to be one confuzzled mess. I still don't know if the torsos are a little wonky. I feel like I've done a few of these wonky. Well, all we can do is better next time. So let's get the decal out. It's ready to go. And being very careful of the other decals. Once they dry, as you saw, they're very hard to come off. But if you haven't let them dry fully, I would recommend before using these in any mocks or playing with these to any capacity, let them dry for a full 24 hours. You don't want to risk anything happening to them, especially if you haven't printed 2 of each decal. I admit, normally I print 2 or 3. The ready to print pages on the website do have a few different, normally we fill up a row. Once you're printing these decals, you're going to want to fill up a entire row because they only take up 1.5 centimeter each. So you can fit about 12 decals on a strip of A4 paper. And then I guess we should probably move this water out of the way so I don't spill any. And then you can use, you know, you print in, each droid is 4 decals. So you can print 3 droids at once or 3 copies of the same droid, just in case you want one to trial, one to go, and one in case you mess up. That would be the wisest choice, I think. But we got R2QT. We've got a few backs to our droids. Oh, these look amazing. I tell you what, there'll be Instagram pictures up just after this stream of these droids, so you can see the front and backs, because the 5 of these do look cool. And after picking up R2D2, I might have to decal the backs of my other R2D2s because, oh, there's a fourth droid that has a back printing, and that's the R2D2 from Dagobah. Always forget that one. But is that the one I've got? Do I have the R2 from Dagobah with back printing? Or do I have the other one? Oh, I have the other one. I see. So I have the one from the playset. I think I've got the Yoda as well. I bought those minifigures separately. But there was one in the back print in the diorama of all things. So how interesting is that? Almost forgot about Plo. If you are looking to improve and upgrade your ARC 170, you've come to the right stream, because like I said, I have worked on this most of the day, and I did a bit of this yesterday, I think, as well. The play feature is really fun of moving this. There is a modification we can make to that, and that is where we'll start off, because I completely forgot about this until now. If you, let's see what we've got. Actually, let me show you this. You're going to need a few of these 1x1 cheese slopes. Don't worry, you're not going to need this many. This is most of mine. These are actually used to create a Grievous and Ahsoka mural back in the day. Never finished off that, did we? But 2 white 1x1 cheese slopes is all you're going to need. And with these 1x1 white cheese slopes, you're going to want to pop off these 1x1 black round tiles. Really, Lego? These aren't featured anywhere else on the set, are they? 1x1 black round tiles on a white and red ship. Yeah, not really inconspicuous. Maybe it was so they stood out just a little bit, so, you know, kids knew where to push. But this is like a 9+ model, so I think everyone would know if we put 2 1x1 white or red cheese slopes, depending on what you got at hand, in the middle. There you go. Now you can barely see the difference when it's moved. Well, you can see it in person. It does look a bit better, but it does fit in with the ship. The one thing I have to say, hello there, go for it. That's something that we can all take, especially with May 4th. Oh, that's dangerous words on a Lego Star Wars purchasing spree later on. But these 1x1 cheese slopes just fit in with the ship. And what I've noticed is I feel like this could be pushed over a bit more. And if this Technic beam could go just a little bit further, perhaps we could get the wings even wider. I'm sure I've built this bit correctly. That's only the first modification of this ship. We've already decaled the back of R4 P44, which you can't see, but the decal does look the same as R2's back printing, so that's quite nice. We've then got I think we'll go on to the wings, because these little wings, oh, there's so much we can do to these little wings. They're good. They're good. I think I'll leave it at that. They're good. But what I've done is we'll start off with a Republic logo. It's too close to the end of the wing. We need to move that just a little bit downwards. So let's get this wing off so you can see I have moved it. Line these up. One stud down. It's all it takes. If you want to keep the wings exactly how they are, I'd actually recommend moving it 2 studs closer, which puts it up against the other tiles. But because we don't have that space, that's then what the Technic gears and that are used for. So I've moved it 1 down and replaced it with a 2x2 dark red round tile with the hole in the middle. Honestly, that probably suffices by itself. I've placed a little stud in there, as you can see, kind of represents the Republic logo. It's a little bigger, which I quite like, and I'm surprised we didn't get a 2x2 dark red tile. It's exclusive to a V-Wing set. One V-Wing set in like 2006 or something, and we never saw it again. We got 2 in the set, 1 on either side. It's the perfect, I don't know about you, but it's the perfect opportunity for LEGO to bring back an old element that hasn't seen the light of day for nearly 20 years. 20 years! And we have so many different colours of these 2x2 round tiles. We've got a lot of grey. Okay, most of my drawer is grey. Maybe it's not as colourful as I think, but we do have so many different colours. How many shades of blue do we have tiles for? Pretty much every single shade, but it would be nice to get that tile in this set with a little tan printing on. I know LEGO struggles sometimes with their lighter printing on darker bricks. Light tan on dark red, I'm asking for trouble. But I do think if LEGO are able to master this, all they've got to do is print it a bit lighter, mess around with the colours a little bit to match it up to their tan. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just a different tan to the LEGO bricks, and that's what most of us complain with. But they went with white on white. White is famous for having the exact same issue, and it's white. How do you get white wrong? LEGO bricks are slightly off-white. White is way too fragile to be making LEGO bricks. Don't know if ABS is very similar to some of the other plastics, but white can be some of the least pure plastic because of how much colouring is needed to pile into it. So LEGO bricks are slightly off-white, and this sticker is definitely closer than the Tantive. I don't think I have any Tantive stickers around, but it's probably about the same as the Onyx Cinder. There were a few white stickers on that, and we are going to be popping that off. Let's make these modifications as I go, so it's at least looking symmetrical. So we've got that 2x2 tile with the hole in it. Don't look half bad, but I've gone for a tan stud in the middle. You can pop this out, don't worry, it feels a bit hard to pop out. Just get an axle on the underneath of the 2x2, and that does well enough. Now fixing this bottom bit is white. There's meant to be a gap here. There's meant to be a gap right about here. So to get that, what I've done is you don't want to pop off both of these elements. You do want to keep the 2x3 on this curved side here, the wedge. And then we're going to use a 1x3, which isn't featured on this set, but I do use two different modifications. So you're going to want, what, 4 wings, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to want 8 of these 1x3s. It's worth it. You got to trust me on that, but it's worth it. That goes on the other side. A 2x2 right at the bottom to bridge that gap, and then you're rounding off the top of this with either 2 1x1/4 tiles, or you can just throw it on the floor and forget about it. So we're rounding it off with 2x2/4 tiles here, and that gives the illusion of a space here in the middle. I think that's all we need to do to the wing. The underside does look grey in the show, so whilst we could, you know, recolor it to dark red or grey, I think we'll leave it. It does look well enough already. No need to mess with it any further. And now that we've done the top 2 wings, we're going under and taking a look. You can put aside these 2x2 tiles, which is what you get left over from that. The stickers aren't half bad, but I'm just not a big fan of stickers. Those printed 3x3s are so nice. I'd have no idea where to start replacing those. Please don't ask. But now we're popping off the entire wing to get rid of this sticker. We did this in the first stream, I know, but there are a few modifications that I've made to our design. we're going to want to remove the 1x4 plate as well as that 4x4. That 4x4 is a little nuisance to pop off. You're probably best trying to dislodge it by moving one of the other wedges. There you go. Pull off the entire half of the wing. You get it out there pretty easily. But in the place of that sticker, we are going to stick, pun very much intended, the elements we took a look at when we were building this set. For those of you that weren't here, it's two 2x3 wedges with a white tile, 1x3 on top, and then another one in grey. And then to fill the rest of the gap, we could continue this pattern up. I think it's safe enough. It's hidden so well that we can just use a 2x4 and replace that grille on the top. Any of you worrying about that 1x3 in white taking up a bit too much space? You don't have to worry about it, because they've put the 1x2 grille, which shows us that the wing doesn't come down enough to get any interference from studs or tiles on the layer behind. Right, another two pieces. The other big change that I can't unsee it. I really liked this little skate in the front of the engine, but since I saw this 1x3 bar element, I cannot unsee it being just too short for the engine. So to get this bar in there, we're going to want a 1x1 black clip. That's probably one of the most common pieces that have been used in any of these modifications, and we've used a load of tiles, which are very common nowadays in Lego. And then just that 1x3 bar right in the front. Look, that looks so much better. We could do some illegal techniques, getting some sort of plate hopped in there, which I've seen a bit in a load of X-Wing mocks going around, but all you really need is that. Oh, do we have a little illegal build here? I see a bit of stress going on this side of the engine, but all you really need is that bar element. Oh, it's because I put you in there. All right, well, let's wiggle you out and we'll replace you with a tile later on. If I can wiggle you out. What I'm doing right now for this engine is I've put a little 1x2 white slope. Not the most common of pieces, I know, but I put it in there to bridge a gap. And I'm just now finding that it's actually bending the engine away. So I'm going to replace these with two 1x1 tiles. And the modification doesn't change whatsoever. In fact, you could probably even use a 1x1 from a 1x1 that we've taken off in its place and not even notice any difference. So I think we'll go to that one next. You have to remove the engine for it. It's held on by an axle. Real easy to pop off, honestly. I wouldn't say the easiest modification. Some of them you don't need to pop off, but it is nicer popping off the wings if you are going to be messing around with them. We've then got this 1x1 white tile and the 1x1 in a 1x6 with that light bluish grey sticker that I said earlier. Why a Lego sticker in this? I get they probably want a 1x6 to hold it all in place. It's not that fragile at the front. So we're going to replace that with a 1x2 in white at the back. We're then going to be using a 1x2 in dark bluish grey. Choose any piece you want, but I'm going to be using, thank you, I'm going to be using this dark bluish grey ingot. It is really cool. Some of these modifications are pretty, I wouldn't say straightforward. If you're not looking at it, like with the engines at the start, we loved that little skate that was going on them, so we weren't thinking of replacing them. But when you realise that 1x2 dark bluish grey blob on the 1x6 tile should be a 1x2 in dark bluish grey. Sometimes you can't unsee it. And 1, 2 1x3s in white, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've tried to keep to the same pieces here because that is what Lego do. Lego are constrained by these little things like using the same elements. And I also think it keeps the build looking a bit nicer. We've also replaced all 4 2x2 white tiles. So that's one less piece to work with as well. You can now whack the engine back on. We don't want it being lopsided. Just remember which way you stuck your bar around before you put it back on. And finally, last but very not least, actually my favorite modification to this entire build, getting rid of all of these elements. Look at the elements we've got rid of. And only handed, we've probably used about the same plastic and whacking them on, a few bonus tiles here and there. The final modification comes from the back. You can see on my side, we've got that nice dark red slope. You know what the modification is. We're getting rid of that 2x4 slope. with the 3 lines going down it to break it up into 4 bricks, right next to 1, 2, 3, 4 slopes that are all separately done. Lego, what are you doing? Why did you just continue the pattern along? Let's get rid of the troopers, make sure they're nice and safe. You know what? We'll take all 3. We can't split up these clone pilots. But what I'm going to do for this modification is, first off, just remove this little wall. We will be replacing it later. And then popping off this 2x4 slope. Disregard it, throw it away in your part bin. Don't recycle it. ABS isn't recyclable, is it? I don't know if Lego's actually recyclable. I know the paper bags, the plastic bags aren't. Paper bags are here in the UK. I don't even think the paper bags are recyclable in America because they're plastic lined, aren't they? They got a little bit of... Do I still have my paper bag? Yes, I do. I think they're plastic lined. Yeah. The paper bags are lined with a thin little bit of plastic, which makes it not recyclable for like most of the planet. I'm pretty sure they are here in the UK. I hope so. They're going in my recycling bin. But I find that weird. Lego have gone to be more environmental, and surely America is one of the biggest buyers of this brick based on country. I guess you'd be comparing it to like most of Europe based on size. But you can't recycle these paper bags. Did we really need plastic lined? What's the reason for? Is that to stop the bricks coming out? Because they could just double bag? That does not sound right. But anyway, taking a look at the gap left by this 2x4 slope, we're going to want to mix it up just a little bit. There's a 1x1 tan slope on the front pilot seat, and well, just behind the front pilot seat. Keep this in play because we're going to add this to another one of these white slopes. I love these pieces. The little 1x2 slopes that have the 2 plate gap at the top. Add that little tan slope, and that goes straight in the back for the back pilot, the rear pilot's cockpit. And then we're going to double the front one, a 1x2 cheese slope, and place that in the front. Again, if you're struggling following along with the live stream, I have a video out with visuals so you can see what pieces I'm actually talking about. And for the middle 2x2 gap, we're placing a dark red in front of a white red 1x2 slope. No modifications, no cheap hacks here, just the 2 slopes. Might as well grab the little droid handle, the droid holder, place that on top, and that goes straight in. Back where it came from. And already the ship is looking so much better. This looks like a mock. Okay, we need to get rid of that. And that nose could be made... what can we do for that nose? No, I don't think there's too much. What we could do is similar, very, very similar to what was done on the wings with the rounded off panels, but we need some longer rounded off tiles. I don't think we can do much unless we replaced it with, you know, a 2x2 grey tile. I like the rounded offness right at the end especially. And yeah, unless we replace... What if we push this one back? Okay, we might be onto something here. Some live modifications. Let me get up a picture of an arc. What's in front of that frontmost cockpit? Arc 170 looks to be grey all the way to the cockpit. But is that because like Hasbro decided it was and everyone else has copied? All right, we're going to go with a grey looking Arc 170. I realised by hitting 170, yeah, I need to change my hotkeys to something that I don't press when I'm on Google. But what we're going to do to this Arc 170, we're going to need a 2x6 in dark bluish grey, a 1x2 ingot, which is what I've used on the side. Don't have an ingot. 1x2 tile will probably fit a bit better with this actually, but we've gone with the ingot, so we're going to stick with that. It also means the cockpit pops off a bit easily. So hopefully that's not ruining anything. And also for either white studs or we're going to use 2x2 plates. So I can't remember a single piece of what I just said. I remember the grey 2x6. Oh, there was the ingot as well. And then some white 1x2 round. Do we need anything more than that? 2x6 dark bluish grey plate, ingot, and the round white plate. So we're gonna Frankenstein this together, pulling off the nose of the Arc 170. Oh, pulling off the engine of the Arc 170, so then we can get to pulling apart the nose of the Arc 170, so we can get to pulling apart the actual nose of the Arc 170. Still following along? So the reason we're doing this, oh, I didn't realise these were held together by bars. This is going to be a bit more complicated than I thought. The reason we're doing this is to get into the nose right here for these 4 2x2 dark red, which, by the way, awesome colour, dark red. I don't have any of these in my collection. I don't have many of these in my collection. Now I do. So we're going to take this apart. We're going to try to take this apart. We are going to hope to take this apart. This is not coming apart. There's no space to get a bricks. Look away. If I choke on it, at least the clip will. At least the clip will. Yeah, let's not choke on Lego. It's not even. I tell you what, I can't even. I'm trying not to damage the Lego because teeth do leave marks if you put enough force on them. I can't get this. Hey, I got this apart. All right. Now we're gonna need a bar. Where's Plo Koon's lightsaber? I don't want to use that bar. Oh, here we are on the ship. So next you're going to want to use some form of bar element to push these out, because not only is it nice and sweet from my hands, I've been trying to tear it apart. That sounds disgusting, but it also goes in, and as that side goes in, we get this little element popping out, which is in brown. Brown isn't a fairly common colour. I think the most common is black or grey. So, trying to harbour some parts here, what we could do is take a little look. What's the most common element that I've got? These are in my just miscellaneous with the T-bars and everything else. Yeah, dark bluish grey I have in abundance. So I have a few brown, but I'm sure I'll be using brown for some sort of micro Ewok village, something like that. Probably where I got the other brown one from. So I don't have enough of. I can't pick up any of these. They're way too small to be grabbing. I'm going to need to get my tweezers back out. But as I've got more than enough of them in grey, this is the sort of thing that goes through my mind when I'm building Lego sets. Which parts can I keep aside for a mock and, you know, switch out the colours so that we can use them later on. So on top of my 2 red 1x2 round plates, I now have another 4. We've just tripled my collection. Same with the brown com pieces. We've gone from 1 to 3, tripling our collection using white plates with a grey inside, and this is to hold them back to back. Is it necessary? No, but it does make for a strong nose, so let's not ruin that in our Lego build. And then there we go, we've switched it up from red to white, and that allows us to put a dark bluish grey. Do we want to switch that to grey as well? We could put a 2x6 on top, add an ingot, replace all of the other pieces back. We have a little yellow shining through just there, the smallest bit of yellow, which I'm going to break this all down and replace it with grey. We could, is that a white? Oh, Lego make this little Technic element in white. They also make it in pink. What do you think? Should we go with white or should we go with pink? Hands up for a pink Arc 170. But now that we've got it in white, we can replace the yellow. But sometimes it surprises me how many colours Lego do certain elements in, because I knew they did this in yellow and grey. Clearly I've got a white and a pink from somewhere. But if you asked me how many colours, I would have said 2, sure as anything. And I'm sure these aren't the only 2. They've probably done it in black for Batman. Every piece gets a black for some sort of Batcave, Batmobile, one or the other. And I don't know if the colours for this, Technic do colour code a lot of elements. I think this Technic element is just a recolor. Nothing special about it. But there we go. We can now place it back together and it doesn't look weird because there isn't a yellow Technic pin hanging out. Though I do agree, I think a pink one would look pretty cool, especially given all the other recolors Lego do for various other sets. Recolors are just generically popular, I think. You see Funko do a lot of recolors as well. But take a look at that. No sticker on the nose. It's not angled as much as I'd like. We could... No, we could... Not really. We could remove one of those Technic and try to get, you know, two of those, or even include the Technic and get two of those rounded off elements. Maybe even one of those 2x4 doormat elements. I don't know if you know the ones I'm talking about. And again, don't know if they exist in grey. I've got white, yellow, various oranges and nougats, but this element here, we need a half of this element. So we've got like a 2x2 with then an extra 1x2 half circle on the end. I'm sure Lego have already made this element. I must have seen it somewhere to have thought about it. But there we go. Modified Arc 170. And it's looking cooler. Stickers do really define Lego as a toy, because toys have stickers, models have extra detail. This right here is the extra detail that's needed to turn this 9+ set honestly into some sort of UCS set. We'll need to double the size and we can talk about that later. But UCS sets don't have many stickers. They have a few printed pieces. The cockpits would have been printed if this was a UCS set. And we probably even would have got a brand new cockpit piece for the back. I'm also noticing the cockpit has a little gap in it at the front. All right, let's fix that. So the cockpit at the front does have a little gap, and it's the smallest gap, the easiest one to fix. Who goes in the front? Is this Jag? I think it's Jag's Arc 170. The hands don't even reach. Oh, Lego, this is just embarrassing. So Jag fits in the cockpit, and right at the front there are two gaps where Jag's hands don't even reach, and all we're gonna need are 1x1 plates. So again, my 1x1 plate drawer is very messy. I'm not bringing that over to the camera. I'm not embarrassing myself by showing off my 1x1 plate drawer, 1x1 plate, 1x1 stud. They're all mixed at the minute. But it's as easy as one plate in the right, one plate in the left. Come on, Lego. What are we doing? And that completes the cockpit. The cockpit still sits flush, better than the back too. And we've got rid of the gap. Maybe we could even add some sort of 1x1 frying pan stud and have some levers sticking up. But why that isn't a part of the original set is beyond me. I have no idea. We could go a little further, you know, get some blaster holsters in the back. But first, let's make sure, again, you should really be leaving your decals to dry at least 24 hours before doing anything like this. But I'm going to be very careful in placing mine in. All right. Success. And then we can just place this on top and hope that it doesn't stick to the other brick as well. And let's get our other two clone pilots in. What surprises me with this, Plo's Delta Microfighter on the underneath has space for Plo's lightsaber. The lightsaber's half the length of this entire Delta. The Arc 170 is long, a lot longer than a little blaster, yet there is not one single clip, and I think we get a spare blaster in the set, so it would be nice to have 4. But there's not one single clip on the entire model. We have an entire section underneath here which has nothing on it. We have a back, which can definitely, oh, that will fit a blaster or two. Maybe that's where we can squeeze the blasters just at the back. Hello there. We're just modifying the Arc 170 at the minute, and I think I found the perfect space for these little blasters. What we could do, if you've seen my Onyx Cinder modification, we hid the blasters in one of the angled panels at the front. We're going to be doing the same with the U-Wing. I haven't forgotten about the U-Wing's little extra sloped off space, but all we're going to need for this is 4 1x1 clip tiles. I think these are these little 1x1s with a clip, and we can add this. By the way, if any of you have any other stickers you want me to replace, I will be more than happy to have a little look and see what we can do here. But 4 1x1 clips, I think we can make this work. So if you take a look at the back, there's a little ledge with one stud. That's where our first clip is going to go. Don't worry, if you have big hands like me, use the blaster to place them down, because this is going to be holding our first blaster. So we get the blaster on it like it's a little attachment. Even though it's tiny on screen, it still looks silly, doesn't it? We've got this little 1x1 clip on the bottom of the blaster that goes straight on the top, and then we basically want to do the same but with a blaster upside down. So let's take our second little blaster and clip that. Oh, it doesn't fit upside down. We're going to have to clip the handle. All right, we're going to clip the handle of it and stick that just below. Is there space for the both of them? Or will one of them have to... Yeah, there's space for the both of them. It is quite an awkward little fiddly spot to get in there. But there you go. We've got our two blasters hidden away in the ARC 170 with what? Four blasters with 4 extra elements. Not only is that handy for play because, you know, there's a way for the clones to access it, but it's also really nice that... Right, let's slot you back in here now. Really nice that they can be stored away, because you might not have a giant backdrop of Lego drawers and bricks and pieces that you can hide these blasters in, which I'm going to have to now root out that 4th spare piece that I probably haven't even put away yet. So being able to clip them to the back of the model whilst they're on display. If you've got 4 of these 1x1 clips, if you don't, head to your local Lego store, see if they've got them on the Pick-a-Brick wall, or have a little look on Bricklink online. You're going to be paying a few quid for delivery at least, but maybe there's like a minifigure that the store has that can justify paying for shipping, and add a few of these 1x1 clips to your order, because they cost basically nothing. They're being sold for fractions of pennies on Bricklink, I'm sure of that. Maybe not in white. I can't speak for how common this is. Gotta be somewhat common. And it's quite fiddly if you do have big hands like mine, because they're tucked right underneath the engines. But they do work so nicely as little clips, little hideouts for these blasters. So there we go, little attachment to the blaster. Hide it away. And there we are. Now, let's see if I can find a 4th blaster before putting the other minifigures back. Not to mention, these minifigures will be so much more comfortable without their blasters, because you can rotate their hands to fit. Check out this little tub of blasters. This is so many Clone Trooper weapons that they're currently not holding. If I ever make a Clone Wars mock, I'm definitely going to make an armory. Got enough blasters to build an armory out of blasters. Would that work? Bit of rope and some blasters to build an armory out of blasters? No. Doesn't sound like it's a very smart idea, regardless of whether it will work. Oh, the pistol's gone. Is there any way these engines, how easy do they don't pop off. So one blaster. Maybe what we can do is make our own little tool for putting these blasters back, because you can put the blaster just above the clip and it still holds it. But if we had something like a lightsaber hilt, you know what? It sounds like it went wrong. This 2x6 plate pops off. And that frees up the space to get to the blaster on the top. That is genius. Well, it's not genius. It was a mistake that I've turned into a success, but that works so well. Because I still can't get in there with my fingers. But what I was saying about the hilt is if you pop off that 2x6 plate and put these back, otherwise I will forget, you can use lightsaber hilts. Let's get Plo Koon's back. Poor Plo Koon. His lightsaber's being used and abused in this stream, but you can get a lightsaber hilt, put it on the back of a blaster, and then you've got a bit more leeway to sneak it around and put it in that clip, let alone a better handle on it as well. So now we've got that in. Hold the handle when you're popping the lightsaber off, and there you go, the blaster stays in. Then you're just going to want to put this 2x6 on the bottom, and I might have made that seem a bit more complicated than it was. I didn't really know what I was doing at the start there, but now you know. You can fit very, very comfortably 4 blasters on the back of the Ark. Probably even hide a little ramp and a little stowaway compartment for them if you're really pushing the boat out. Right, got to be careful of that decal. That's one clone trooper in. It wasn't the helmet holding down the clone. It was the blast. Come on, Lego. That's more reason to do it. It was the blaster that was holding down all this time. I was complaining about the cockpits not closing down, and it's the blaster. Lego show images of the clones. I don't think they were holding their blasters. Has that gone? Yes, that's gone down. I mean, I could push down this 1x2 slope a bit more to get it all the way. That's gone down fully without the blaster in hand. It was the blaster this whole time. You know, I wonder sometimes why I don't think of trying these things, but sometimes when you're in the moment of building a Lego set, you know, these little modifications go completely over my head. And by clipping the blasters down there, we've still not compromised this grip, which is impressive alone. There's nothing holding these plates on. There's just a 2 4x6s and a 1x6. Even that 1x6, I might be tempting fate here. Oh, yep. Okay, the 1x6 does not have enough grip. Maybe we need an extra little plate underneath that 1x6. But those 4x6s are carrying the weight of the entire thing. Goes to show, if you have a few of those 2x plates with the Technic pinholes in them, and you put a few screws in them, which is how I've got this brick separator to stay under my desk. I've screwed in one of those 2x6 Technic plates, and you put that on the bottom of this. You could definitely screw that into a wall and have a really nice wall display full of different Star Wars starfighters. If I didn't have a Funko wall here, I think that would look awesome around my monitor, just having these up on the wall. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 modifications to make to your Ark 170, which honestly, I don't think we're changing it up too much completely, but it does definitely have these little improvements. What about the weapons? What about the weapons? They're meant to be that low. You could always just remove the flip fire and move them up one, but I think we've made enough modifications of the Ark 170 for one lifetime. 9 modifications to a Lego set. Nothing against the designers. This set was beautiful before I began modifying it at all. I've just, you know, tinkered it to my taste, to my preference, and there might be a few other things. I honestly don't think there's anything else. I did try. The only stickers that are left are the cockpit stickers. We're not getting rid of them. We could just replace them with normal cockpits. You might as well keep the stickers on if you have already applied them. And the only other stickers are on the back of the Ark 170. I've tried playing around removing these, and I found nothing that I've liked enough to make the change, because you're trying to get a 2x4 wedge slope with that red on the end. Few different hinges that will allow you to do that. I think the stickers are good enough. Maybe like a dual molded element would be nice. If we were really, you know, trying to get everything from Lego here, dual molded element would be nice in ways of slopes. But we could, if we had some sort of slope that had a gap at the front that we could put a 1x2 dark red slope, that's the ideal scenario. Maybe even one of these wedge slopes that had 2 studs on it so we could fit a dark red ingot. You could even grab some blue tack and just cover it up with a dark red ingot. I know I've used a load of them for my gunship. Do I have any spare? No. Gunship. Oh, they're probably used for like Kenobi, and I might have even used one on Boba. I don't remember doing that. But you could blue tack a 1x2 dark red ingot onto it. That could be something that would be fairly interesting to do. But I think we'll leave the Ark 170 alone. It's a good enough ship. I do like this little flutter mechanism. Especially as it's flying along. Let's try and get it in action. I want that. No music, just with the sound of the wings clapping. That is... Oh, G-slope fell off. Yeah, try not to do it too vigorously, otherwise you do start brick in the model. It is for 9+, not for 9 months. But before we get round to building the battle pack, because I did say we'd be building that at some point today, we got a ton of sets to get through. We got the Dark Falcon at the end of the month. I run through them earlier, I do believe. I would also like to take a look at some of the things that are currently up on lego.com. So whilst I'm getting this up, because it's not just Star Wars that has been uploaded, there are also a few Fortnite ones that might tickle a few of your fancies. So I will be right back. I'm just going to get this website up. Don't go anywhere. Talk amongst yourselves in chat, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. Which window do we want? All right, almost there. Hang on. I realise I can keep talking whilst this return screen is up, so you don't have to sit in silence. There we go. I think this is going to work. And there we are. All right. Hopefully that's not giving away too much. Here we go. Just over 8 hours until May 4th. Well, Moonshoes, it's currently 8:30 here, which means Lego sets here in the UK based. It's not 8 hours for me. I don't mean to rub it in. You go back, rewatch a few of the older streams to fill in the time. I'd love to stream all the way through the night, but I am already burning out of excitement for May 4th. So 8:30, what's that? 3.5 hours to go. I'll probably end it early. I am on Lego to make sure I've got my place in the queue. But as you can see, we've also got a few of the Fortnite sets. Not really much to say. Everything that is on your screens. Colombo is nice to be seen in brick form. Battle pack, a Fortnite battle pack. Wow, and Der Burger, the first set was popular enough. This tiger's nice. When are we getting a botanical range for Star Wars? Imagine Felucia, a Felucia set that's just flowers and very, very Lego botanical. I'd love to see some flowers. A bit like this little shrubbery here, but some of the botanical elements from the botanical collection would look great on Felucia, wouldn't they? Fortnite sets. Let's take a closer little look. I feel like I've gone right over them. So, Der Burger. This Der Burger might seem pretty expensive. I think it's a lot better value than that Spider-Verse set. But this Der Burger up here is built on a 4x4 base rather than, is it 6x6? Der Burger, is it 2 R's? Oh, it's 3 R's. My bad. So this is built on an 8x8 base. This Der Burger up here is on a 4x4. It's like a quarter of the size and still packs a lot of the same details. Obviously this burger wouldn't fit on the top there, but some of the parts we're getting in this. You got the sign. Do we think they're going to print it? Are Lego going to print the sign? And we've also got a little menu. I think they're probably stickers. Comes out June 1st. So you don't have to worry about this when you're ordering your Lego Star Wars sets, thankfully. But look at the interior. See if we can get a nice shot there. Oh, well, that's way too big. Let's not cover that. Ah, can't get a good look in there. There's a little interior. There's a little like checkout, a little table as well to be eating at. But I think this is pretty good for £55. The Star Wars Spider-Man set. I can't remember what it was called. It was the one with Miles, Gwen, and I think Miles' dad, is it? This one right here, look, £45. Not as expensive, but it is a bit less. Maybe it's about as tall. And you've got the cop car instead of all the benches. I just feel like this is given a lot less than this set right here. It's going up with a Der Burger on top. You've got the little table outside, maybe an extra minifigure. Do we count skeletons as minifigures? We can count them as minifigures. But this one's caught my attention for Peely and the llama. For Peely, the llama, and the table saw, and the campfire. You know what? I do like this one. I might have to pick this one up just for the Peely minifigure. Got to have a Lego Peely minifigure, especially considering that one's a lot cheaper than the giant Peely. And then Klombo. I wasn't around Fortnite when Klombo first hit, but I have played a bit of the Lego game, and it is quite good. Still don't know what this little guy is down here, but we also get an exclusive Peely. All three of these sets come with a bonus skin you can unlock in game, which I think is quite nice, considering the first ones came with the same code for the same booster pack, the same bundle. It's nice to be seeing some exclusive skins with them. That being said, they're only exclusive in terms of different for each Lego set. The skins have been made available before, given out with Lego passes and available in the shop just generically as their own skins. So if you are a big Fortnite fan and you already have these skins, you probably don't mind because you're probably looking at the sets anyway, but I'm sure you'll be able to make some back from the codes, giving those away to people that don't. Oh, the UCS Starship. Definitely on my radar today. Oh, it's tempting. I'll probably make a little video about May 4th because it's on May 1st. May 1st purchases. It's always eventful, isn't it? You'll wait up till last minute. You get booted. Some sets are unavailable. Some sets arrive 15 minutes early, but then you have to wait another 15 minutes, half an hour for the other ones. It's always fun. A few, the U-Wing. U-Wing's definitely, again, another purchase. Rebel Pilot has been hearted. I tend to heart a few sets, I don't pay much attention, but you do have a wish list on here. 3PO, nice. This is the Sherlock Book Nook that I was talking about earlier. One of two. Harry Potter one doesn't have official images yet, but it folds out. So this is the Book Nook originally. Don't look like much, but on the outside, it's this Sherlock Holmes book. It looks snazzy, especially on the end of a bookshelf. It's a Book Nook, meant to be between books, I know, but it does look quite nice at the end. And then we've also got this little front that it folds out into. You can see we've got two halves of the shop in the middle there, the green one, and they connect with hinges down the middle. That's snazzy. I'd love to see a little Diagon Alley Book Nook. I'm sure someone's made it using the big set. And then we get a few minifigures as well. Of course, Lego set. Minifigures are what make it really unique. So a lot of choice outside of Star Wars, but of course May 1st, a few hours away for me, a few more hours away for some of you. Some of you are watching this in May 1st because I know there are a few of you that have probably stayed up ordering Star Wars sets for sure. Some helmets definitely don't interest me enough to pick up, especially the logo as well. These are going to be on sale wherever you get your Lego besides lego.com fairly quickly. But do you want to wait for a sale? Do you want to wait for a sale? That's the real big question. Chopper is a tempting day one as well. If I wasn't getting the U-Wing, I'd probably be tempted to pick up Chopper, but we'll see what I think about R2-D2 first. And I'm also so tempted. You all saw that sale, 3PO on sale the other day, down to like 70 quid, almost half price for C3PO. That's crazy. The fact that I didn't scoop that up is absurd. But it looks like rather than 3PO, we will be... I like these plants. These are adorable. But rather than 3PO, we will be building Jango Fett Slave 1. I like the fact that these plants can hold hands. One little Technic axle just between them and you can lock them in. But Jango Fett's Fire Spray. That is the big May 1st drop. And I might just have to make the purchase. But now let's get to building the battle pack. This is another set that I got for my birthday. Very handy having a birthday just before May, especially with all the generous family members that give me some money. So that it's a weight off my shoulder. Having a birthday before May 4th, massive weight off my shoulder. I feel like it's like having a birthday before Black Friday and you can just splash all the cash, don't have to worry about it. But I quite like this battle pack. We don't really need the instructions. Let's try and build this without the instructions. I feel like the box is all we need here, but I will be scanning that for my 20 points, my lovely 20 points. I posted a community post the other day and a few of you said you were struggling getting your 20 points. I did find a fix for it in the end. What you've got to do is log in first to lego.com on the device you're trying to scan the 20 points, and then it bypasses the page that we were all getting, and I don't really know what the problem was exactly. It was just the fact that it wasn't logged in on that device, and then I logged in and it worked. So you just got to make sure you're logged in before you're trying to scan and claim any points, and it all seems to be fine. But the first build is the speeder, the clone speeder I should say. Then we've got the barricade and the droid speeder, and then we've got the droid. Birthday was on Black Friday last year. No good deals from Lego. I tell you what, Lego, I've just noticed as well, plastic bags still, I guess it's an older set, but Lego don't have a lot of good deals. Not like I remember them having. A lot of the sets used to go, you know, 20% at least, but not recently, which is a shame because I do prefer buying through Lego. I can't say enough. The customer service is amazing. Is it worth that extra price? You gotta love Lego. You gotta buy it from Lego at some point. May 4th gift with purchases make it worth it. And well, I haven't ordered. I did order the Ghost. I think last year we ordered the Ghost off it because I had enough points built up from years of buying Lego. I should probably keep this separate if I'm building this without it. But yeah, gift with purchases and insider discounts and double points. I got this annoying bit of hair that keeps jumping down. Stay back. But the Ghost, we got a third off Lego sale. That was during their Insider weekend, not May 4th. It's a Lego Star Wars set. And they're not I guess more people are inclined, more Star Wars fans like us are inclined to buy it for the gift with purchase. Lego probably don't see a need in making any good sales around May 4th, but I just imagine all the sets would be double points is 10%. Yeah, even double points isn't a lot when you can look at other sites that are having 20% off sales, and I know there's a few. 4 times is better, so yeah, 4 times is 20%, which is what I expect to see elsewhere. But they had a third off the Ghost last year for their Insiders weekend. I think it was June. I want to say it was June or July. And we definitely picked that up. I had another like £50 worth of Insiders points. So I ended up only spending 50 quid on the Ghost. That's an absolute steal. But I wish Lego did it for more sets. Even that 4 times points, 20% off. And then you're getting points on top. I guess that is the points on top. But you get like a little sale and then some points back. 20% of points back to spend on more Lego sets. Not even sales, we're talking about getting points on the sets to spend next time. We'd have to then shop through Lego. So, yeah, I guess Lego don't need the sales. That can be the only thing, but that was a steal on the Ghost. I could not pass up on that opportunity. And the only reason is because I had £50 worth in points. I could probably find the Ghost elsewhere for like a third off, but yeah, not for 2/3 off. That's asking too much of any Lego set. Seen a few battle packs, not these battle packs and not the 501st one, but the 332nd battle packs on, I think it's in Walmart and Target actually, for like £5. So I'm sure they've all sold out. If it's anything like here in the UK, the only time a deal that good jumps out is when they've already sold out and they've got them at like one location that's a million miles away. I don't think anyone really gets good sales on Lego anymore. We definitely need to get, someone needs to pop up. We need to get a shop that can afford to give some good discounts on Lego sets. How's this put together? I realised this is an element from the Bark Speeder. I was looking at picking up the Bark Speeder for May 4th. Still don't like the Bark Speeder. Keller and Beck's a cool minifigure, but not prominent enough that I would want to, you know, pay £25 for them. Especially when I've got 2 Mace Windows behind me. I think I just bought a custom head to go with one of my old Mace Windows. But that goes underneath. Keller and Beck is a cool minifigure. I was looking at the parts I didn't have from that set, and I thought this piece on the end of the Speeder was one of them. Well, this isn't my first battle pack. This is my second battle pack. Kind of feels criminal I've only picked up 2, but we're slowly building an army. Just wait until these are on sale. Right now in the UK, the UCS lamp is the real reason to pick up that set, for sure. But right now in the UK, £17, reduced from £25 to £17 in Smiths. I haven't seen many other stores reduce it that much, but by the looks of all their new city sets, Smiths are in the UK releasing all their new city sets for like £7, something like that. All their £10 city sets, I should say, not the big ones, but all their £9.99 city sets. I think they're releasing for something like £7.49 or £7.50, which from launch, mental. Are Smiths that confident that they're going to sell enough Lego sets that they can be putting city sets on sale? I'm just waiting for that to come over to Star Wars. That would be real nice if we can get those sort of discounts. Yes, please. Does this might go the other way around. Either way, we might elongate the speeder a little bit by doing this. But there's no real good. Yeah, I didn't go for the Bark Speeder in the end. I won't be going for the Bark Speeder in the end. But that's a set that Lego could reduce. I think it sold pretty good. I don't see it being around much more. Keller and Beck's Bark Speeder. Maybe it will. Maybe it will stick around. But I think with Kelleran's limited involvement, and I don't think Keller and Beck will be showing up again. It was nice to have Ahmed Best reprise a Star Wars role, come in as a brand new character where his face is actually involved. But I wouldn't mind seeing Jar Jar again. Keller and Beck is somewhat involved with Fortnite. I'm sure there'll be a few voice lines of Jar Jar terrorizing us as we run amok. But that will be streamed as well. That is what Wednesdays are becoming. Wednesdays are game nights, and we'll be playing Fortnite throughout the Star Wars season. And then, as promised, a little bit of repo after that. I am really excited to play that, but I don't think it's possible in May. There's so much going on. We will get around to it eventually. Alright. I don't want to jinx myself here, but I think this is coming along swimmingly. This is going quite well. I did forget about a few pieces. We have brought this down about twice whilst I've been rambling on, but we're getting there. We're getting there. There was another set as well that I was looking at picking up that I didn't. There's a few minifigures that I wouldn't mind picking up. Tell you what, in the UK, there's a few sets that are retiring way too soon, and one of them was the Spider Droid. Spider Tank? Spider Droid did not sound right. Spider Tank, is it? That set retired way too soon. It was an exclusive. That one might have also been exclusive to the Entertainer, because the Invisible Hand retired after not even 6 months here in the UK. Still available at Lego stores, just not available in most Lego stores. Not available in any non-official Lego stores. Even in Lego stores, I don't remember the last time I saw it, but it's not a set I was looking out for. I haven't been to too many Lego stores recently. So maybe it's not just a UK thing. Maybe worldwide sets are retiring quicker than they probably should. But oh, that's way too forward. Some sets are sticking around. The ATTE is a set that's sticking around. Can't say about that. Can't say that about many other sets though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No? Well, hold on. Oh, we put them back. 1, 2. 1, 2 forward. My bad. And then we've got this little 1 by 1. And I think I've forgotten something. But I think that should be it. I don't know what this 1 by... We got a 1 by 2 jumper plate tile. Don't know where that's from. Well, I hope this set. Because we've got this in the middle. Oh, we don't have that. We got the little... Yes, I completely forgot. There's going to be no way to pilot this thing. Good thing I double checked. That'd be fun otherwise. And then the best thing about this speeder for the battle pack, I don't think I did a... Well, I didn't do Too many. Oh, I did do a video on this because I've got some Firestar custom arms, which look sweet on these minifigures. But we put the 2 grenades. Both of them do fit in this container. Legally, I'm not sure. They might not go down all the way, but they fit for the most part. And then we've also got 1 sniper here, which goes with the barracks with the next one. And the 2 blasters from these clones. We've just done this modification for the Ark. The 2 blasters go on the back of the speeder. Sure, you can have one of the clones holding their blaster, but how cool would it be to have like a twin blaster on the back of a little BARC speeder, which is what this is meant to represent. It's a BARC speeder before we got BARC speeders. It's based on Lego's first design of BARC speeders, which might be one of the first times we've seen BARC speeders in anything, because that battle pack was like 02, 03, 04, maybe just after Revenge of the Sith. It might have been taken from that scene where we got the 91st. We got Neo going right past us with a BARC speeder, so maybe we didn't get too clear a shot. But there we go. 2 clones on the BARC speeder, studded down all the way, because we know that doesn't affect minifigures that badly. And so far, we're going swimmingly. We don't need these spare pieces. I don't know where I put my stud shooters. There you go. I do know. Now for bag 2, looking at this, we've got all the minifigures, except for the big droid. It's not mini. This isn't a minifigure. This is a big fig. So we'll ignore the droid big fig, the tri-droid, and we've got all the droids, all 5 of them, the Coruscant Guard Shock Trooper. Interesting, the Shock Trooper didn't come in the first bag a little bit. And actually, what we built in recently that had a few of these, hello there, a few of these shields. We had a few of these shields in a set recently. Was it Fenix? Was it the attack pod from Fenix? Built that recently in a stream. Obviously not this little speeder. Wow, look at the size comparison between them though. The clone speeder versus the one that Andor steals. It's like 1.5 size the length of the clones. But the tac pod that comes with it, because we all know the main character is Andor, right? In these Andor sets. So we get Andor on the speeder bike with a little side build of tac pod. Bought something great today. Coca-Cola 99 Ford Mustang convertible. Now Matchbox ain't cheap. I know that much. I've seen a few Matchbox. Was it this that had... No. This had a lot of Technic. Right, well, this can go straight back. What was it we were building that had one of the claret shields in it? I don't remember. It was definitely something that I was building. It was definitely something that I was building recently. It wasn't the Slave one. It wasn't Luke. It wasn't any of the Eaters or the Del. Maybe Kenobi? Was it Kenobi's? Oh, speaking of Kenobi, I may have nicked Plo Koon's Microfighter little lightsaber stand. Flashed that a few times. Plo Koon's Microfighter does have a little lightsaber just stashed at the front. So I've done the same with Kenobi's on the back. But what ship was it? It was part of the Cola collection from 2000 and 2001. Oh, a 99 Mustang released like a year later. Suppose we're getting that with a few recent Lego Speed Champions. A few of them are coming out, but I still feel like they're like 2010 cars at most. The Arc 170 definitely doesn't have these. I honestly don't remember what set it was. I just remember thinking they'd go perfect with this battle pack instead. I think I made a throwaway comment about it, but I have no idea what set that was. Could it have been Boba Fett? Because Boba Fett's got that dark red colour scheme. Could it have been Boba Fett? Boba Fett's face plates. That's what we were doing when we were improving. I improved Boba's helmet to look like the new Jango Fett helmet in a recent video. There we go. The visor actually lines up with Boba's eyes, which is not something you can say about the first one. And underneath these face plates, there we go. We've got 2x3 shields. So we can take those off and replace them with these boring old grey ones, common as anything. The red version, they made a white version, I guess. Coca-Cola colours, isn't it? Red and white. Like the Christmas lorries that you don't see anymore. So there you go. Oh, there you go. 2 grey shields in Boba's helmet. We're not going to tell, well, you know the difference. I'm going to forget the difference, but there we go. In Boba's helmet. And now we've got to, I don't think, no, we do have a few of these from the gunship as well. Yeah, red might be more common. We got them in the gunship, we got them in Boba, and these only come in the battle pack. But anyway, I might have to swap them back. We've just used some rare colour. Grow your hair out and dress up as Qui-Gon. I've been wanting to get some Kenobi robes, actually, because I've got some black ones that work as Anakin, but I use them for Luke. When Luke come back in the Mando, I ordered full-on Luke Jedi gear. So, hair's almost long enough, you know. Almost. I've got it kind of like Qui-Gon's at the back. I just need to grow out this bit and then get the right colour gear, because I believe top half up, Qui-Gon's similar to Kenobi. So, you might be onto something, Buckethead Bricks. I'll keep my eye out for any post May 4th, anyone trying to get rid of like their old Jedi robes and repurpose them for a Qui-Gon. Here we got the Coruscant Guard, and look at that, rocking both. This is the equivalent, you know the trolls from Lord of the Rings? We all Star Wars fans here, we know Lord of the Rings. Giant trolls that storm through the gates at Gondor. I'm not a massive Lord of the Rings fan, so I might be mistaken on some of this. Don't fact check me, but the giant trolls, we've just got this clone trooper, 2 shields up, just charging through all these droids, battle droids going everywhere. That's worthy of a mock. That would be quite cool to see, just push in with these 2 shields. But I thought this would look pretty cool. I think grey looks better. I think grey, and if we got a little like triangle tile or something at the front, I do think grey looks better because it's what they have in the Clone Wars. It's those giant grey barricade shields. But we're gonna keep the dark red just for now. We'll swap it back later. Starting to expand your die-cast Mustang die-cast collection. I definitely think if you're looking for a way to display any die-cast vehicles, Smiths here in the UK, I think it's BrickBox. I can't remember the name of the company, but they have a display just like this minifigure one back here. This is a Lego one that fits, oh, we must have 500 minifigures in that display. Got some nice LED lights. They do have one for Hot Wheels. You might not be a fan of Hot Wheels, but Hot Wheels are a die-cast car company. Yeah, Hot Wheels are known for their die-cast cars, so you can fit any different brands in there. A Jedi named Moldy. Master Moldy? That is where the name comes from. A stop motion animation. Okay, if I reach that level of famous, that's scary, fun, and all of the above. I'm missing elements here because I did open the bag. Okay, that one's on me. The Racing Champions. Lego have, well, I think it's a rumor at the minute, so we'll see if it comes to be, because the part count I don't think lines up. But I played a bit of Gran Turismo on the PlayStation, and my go-to cars for driving around on Gran Turismo were Dodge cars. You know, big Fast and Furious fan back in the day, had to be Dodge, but I liked the Dodge Hellcat. And there's a twin pack of Speed Champions that's caught my eye because it's, I think it's I don't remember how this goes in, you know. I remember tiles, I don't remember which one, but it's a twin pack of a Hellcat and is it a Dodge Challenger or a Dodge Charger? I think it's a Dodge Challenger. I think we've already got a Dodge Charger, so you'll have to see that. Oh, how do you have the time to do all this stuff on YouTube and manage a job? Well, thankfully I worked quite a few years. I do have a maths degree, so you know, add a degree on top of all that. Not cheap. If you think Lego's expensive, let me think about this. I've probably spent more Lego No, I can't have spent more on Lego than a degree. I've spent a fraction of what I've spent on that degree on Lego, but I was working the entire time, built up enough of savings, and now this is pretty much my main source of income alongside YouTube. You know, the views aren't doing crazy right now, so I do have instructions which are doing pretty well over on Rebrickable. They've jumped back forth, and you know, we've had various different spouts over there, but yeah, I'm very lucky to be able to put pretty much all of my time into this. Odd little bits. It's more than meets the eye when it comes to making YouTube videos, but yes, this is full time for me now. Also made a Fast and Furious collection. 2001, is that when the first one came out? That sounds about right. So that's why I have picked up a few more streams. Last year we started streaming at the end of the year, and then towards the start of this year we started our Saturday streams. Missed one for 3 birthdays on the same day. There's really nothing I could have done about that, but I'm looking to push this all the way through to the rest of the year. And as you saw, Wednesdays, Fortnite Wednesdays over in May, so we are going to be streaming a lot more. I'm going to come back to this. I don't know what I'm doing here. There's a few parts I'm missing, but it's thanks to all of yous that I've been able to put all my time to Lego. Honestly, real talk, this community is why I'm here. So thank you to all of that. 8k subscribers, mental considering we were on like 5k a few weeks ago, but 10k, we'll be building a UCS set. And again, that's been paid for by the channel, by all the different bits that I'm doing around, and it's crazy where I am. It is crazy. Here's an idea. 3D print custom Lord of the Ring figure parts, helmets, swords. Yeah, other themes people want more of. Zelda? Yeah, that's quite a good idea. I've been looking at doing the sabers. So the first thing I 3D printed was sabers, clips for the belt. And again, this was before I was doing YouTube. This was years ago. Well, I was probably on YouTube, but I was watching more than I was making at the time. And I've done some lightsaber clips for the belts of minifigures. Perhaps that's something we can look at doing as well. But they're so small and fragile. I think getting a resin printer. Definitely getting a resin. So the difference between 3D printing is usually split into 2 categories. We've got FDM, PLA printing we'll call it, plastic, and that's just layers built on top of each other. And then we've got resin printing, which is no layer lines, sort of UV curing resin in a way that it's one complete mold. When it comes to little Lego bits and accessories, that small, helmets, swords, really should be investing in a resin printer. Who knows? Who knows? After getting the UCS, I've put this on the wrong way. Look at this. The arm, I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but up close it's just a bit lopsided and larger at the bottom. But I'm definitely keeping an eye out for any cheap resin printers. If anyone's got, you know, a resin printer that they just want to ship over, donate to the channel, feel free to do so. But that's something I want to get into. It's a different board game to the 3D printing that I'm currently doing, so I would have to, you know, start from scratch, learn it all up. But that would benefit big doing it. If you do find someone in the US, yeah, we'd have to start shipping all the custom parts, which I've looked into as well. But the problem with 3D printing is it's so affordable now, especially for this resin 3D printing's a smidge more expensive because of how hard it is to get the resin. But this 3D printer right here costs, I think it was like 120 or something like that. It was a discount that they had for Black Friday, but basically on discount the whole year round. Bambu Lab, not a sponsor. I did pay for that, but yeah, it's a solid quality 3D printer. And it's so affordable if you are looking at, you know, custom, especially if you're into customs. If you're into custom Lego parts, I heavily recommend looking into getting a resin printer, 3D printer. It depends on your scale. I printed a load of bigger things. This was the first thing I 3D printed, that Clone Trooper helmet, which, yeah, do not go for a big project first. Start off small, maybe 3D print some like Lego base plate, and then work your way up to building larger scale models. Honestly, if this Trooper helmet didn't work, I would have not carried on 3D printing. We've printed, there's a skeleton just up there, mini kit. Oh, 3D printing's everywhere around here. You've seen it if you stick around. And definitely going to keep my eyes out for a resin printer, because that would just take it to a complete whole nother level. These two droids are technically exclusive to this set because one of them has a clip on the back, which I'm forgetting. Is it grey? No. We've got to own a tan clip. No way they haven't. Has Lego not made a tan? Yeah, look. Look at this. Maybe because they included a grey one on the speeder, they could have hidden this tan one on the speeder. If we're I'm putting this just straight in my parts bin. We're not using a grey 1x1 clip. But if we take a look at the ARC 170, you'll notice this is a tan plate here. We've got tan on the inside of the cockpit. Tan's like the tertiary colour of clone ships, vehicles, and especially speeders. So replace the grey one with a tan, and then it also fits on the back of the P1. But Hot Wheels needs to make a stud baker. Let's have a little look. What are we? Can I get this up for everyone to see? All right, maybe I'll hide this just whilst I take a look. Who knows what Google's going to give me for this, but a Springer Commander. Oh, this is a nice car. All right, I think this is safe for stream. Take a look at this. That would be, I think cars like this is exactly what we need in Speed Champions. I get F1, they're all going to look pretty similar, but look at the different details. You've got the different shapes. Might be a bit hard for Lego to go. Lego might not make one of these just because of how rounded it is, but maybe they will. They invent enough pieces for Speed Champions. They can definitely make this work. But look, it's a proper classic car. When you look at classic cars, this is the sort of thing I have in mind. So yeah, it's something I'd love to see Lego do more on for Speed Champions. And still, look, I mean, race cars, it's really all they have. But with Hot Wheels now making some Mattel brick alternate, basically Lego sets, I wonder if Lego turn more to the classics, or maybe that's Hot Wheels angle, getting on the classics. Any ideas where to find 3D printed Lord of the Rings parts for cheap? Honestly, for what delivery costs, because I mean, in the UK, you're at least going to be paying a couple of quid for delivery for these tiny pieces. For example, each minifigure costs, I think like each 3D printed minifigure costs 8p to make. So we're talking about these little 3D printed, don't drop it. Don't drop it, don't drop it. Don't drop it. These 3D printed minifigures, this is also 3D printed, which you can see the hexagons make everything cheaper to make. But these 3D printed minifigures here are like 8p each to make. So if you are really interested in 3D printed parts, I would recommend buying a printer. It costs 100. That's a lot of money to be thrown away at, you know, a hobby, especially if you're yourself not looking at selling many of the parts. But because of 3D printing is quite a fragile hobby, it's not as secure as, you know, injection molding, which is what Lego bricks are. I would recommend taking a look at the Bambu Lab. Out of the box, it's ready to go. It's really as straightforward as 3D printing comes. You get your own software, and then a few YouTube videos later, you're basically a professional. But yes, it costs like pence. Each filament roll is about 10 to 20 quid. There are quite a few good cheap ones on Amazon. I usually get Esun or Elegoo. Esun and Elegoo are two really cheap filaments you can pick up for like £10 a spool, probably about $15 a spool if you're able to get a hold of them over in the US. And the spools last for so long. That helmet is basically an entire spool, but the minifigure, it's a mere fraction of the spool. So if you're interested in it, and you don't have to design anything, even if you're looking at Lord of the Rings custom parts, you've also got sites like, I have a few custom Lord of the Rings parts that I've actually been looking at printing myself. You have sites like Colts 3D, which on and off it's kind of a rubricable for 3D printed files, but definitely definitely check out 3D print. Maybe before you make any purchases, this is not financial advice by any means, have a little look at some 3D printing, you know, videos, tutorials, see what other people are saying about it, and then check out, yeah, then think about it. Maybe you'll want a 3D printer, because not only can you 3D print, hello there, tugboats, also from America. So especially when you're looking at international, because I do know a lot of the 3D printers and the people that then sell their things that I watch, I'm sure there's a big crowd in America, but a lot of the ones I watch are actually in Europe. So that shipping is going to kill, especially adding all the import fees and all that on top now. It's going to be so much. You're probably best looking at getting a 3D printer or getting a second-hand one. Have a look, see on, you know, Facebook Marketplace, same place a load of people find cheap Lego. Keep your eye out for a nice cheap 3D printer near Phoenix. Maybe someone around has a 3D printer they're getting rid of, because it's not for everyone. And I do find 3D printers do come and go quite a bit. Put the clone helmet on the Lego head. I don't think it fits, because I know it barely fits my head. But what I've wanted to do, if that didn't have Lego in it, I use the Lego head to store, it's got a tray in it as well. So I've got a load of Technic in the tray, and then a load of doors, panels in the bottom of it. I really wanted to hollow out the bottom of it and then wear the Lego head. I don't think the Lego head's fitting. I mean, it's about that big compared to my head. I'd have like the Lego head sat down here, but can I try? I'll give it a go. I will give it a go. But if you take a look at the Clone Trooper helmet, you can see the bottom of it is about that wide. So we've got that wide on the Lego head. I don't think the head's gonna, nope, it does not fit. That would have been a good thing to think about though, perhaps like cutting it open a little bit, making sure that we could get the Lego head on the inside. I tell you what, I haven't thought about that until now, so that is a great suggestion, but it's just not big enough. Lego needs to expand their NASCAR license. F1 seems to be a success. Speed Champions sub-theme coming soon. That could be quite cool actually. The Superbird. Definitely a Lego set. Lego set title. The Superbird. Release the Superbird. Right. That, I don't know how this speeder goes together. This was so easy. Looking at the box, look, how hard can it be? A couple of pieces. What's this, like 100? Maybe like 130 pieces tops? But it turns out it's a bit harder than I thought. Alright. I think I remember this technique being used here because I've used this on so many Moxins. Expand their trains. Alright. It's not the trains you're looking for. I don't think this is going to be the trains. Oh, have Lego not released it yet? So Lego have a few trains. They have released one of them. They've got like a city train set that's coming, but they've also got a winter train, which looks cool because it has a few different builds around it as well. So I think trains are coming back with Lego. Lego have quite a big history with trains, especially model trains and, you know, specific trains as opposed to the generic city ones. But yeah, I would like to see, maybe we got the Orient Express. That was more brick built. I would like to see more of a model train. We also got the Hogwarts Express. That was brick built. That one didn't even fit on regular tracks. I would like to see a few more train models tied about. I think Lego could do with it. I definitely think Lego could make them quite easily. Lego don't seem to struggle when it comes to the train making department, do they? 3. I'm surprised, actually, we built this before it came out. Steam trains, yeah. Oh, I guess a lot of their city trains are not just electric trains, but also quite environmentally sound trains. Historically inaccurate, I think, would be the way to describe them. do like a classic steam train. I'm surprised actually. Lego hasn't. There's an exact video. Oh, I guess yeah, nice. Oh, we did. We got a steamboat recently, didn't we? I can't remember what that was called, but I think that was based off something as well. There's no just old models of boats. There's a Lego Ideas set that I'm quite interested in. That's a lifeboat. It's quite popular here in the UK. One of the RNLI lifeboats, which looks really good. But they're the sort of sets that we could be. Lego could have a theme dedicated to them, in all honesty. Classic trains, boats, classic vehicle. It's kind of like Speed Champions. Maybe Lego don't want to do too many vehicles because cars are more popular. And that's probably the reason they're focusing on cars. We'll let them get their cars right before they tackle another subject. It would be nice to see a few more, like the Orient Express though, not ideas sets. Ones that come straight from Lego. I guess we just need a really popular train to jump out. I'm surprised they haven't done anything for Thomas. The tank engine, you know, the tank engine. We haven't got. Or have we? Did we used to get a Duplo Thomas? Lego Thomas tank. As long as it don't give us a tank. No, it doesn't seem like we've got anything Lego for Thomas. There's Lego Ideas for Thomas the Tank Engine. And hold on. Is this real? Is this a real set? It's got Thomas. It's got the Duplo logo. This is old though. Maybe we did get Thomas once upon a time. There only seems to be one set. No. No, this is not real, is it? No. April Fools last year. Ah, they got me. Lego have finally announced their Thomas set for October 1st. There was no October 1st Thomas the Tank Engine. 40th anniversary, great time. Maybe they're waiting till the 50th. All right, in 9 years' time, mark your calendar. In 9 years' time, if there's a Thomas the Tank Engine set, we called it here first. But 9 years is a long time to wait for a steam engine. Surely Lego have something in the works. All right, we're going to put you on there so you don't move around. And is this all? That's the speeder done. Awesome speeder, by the way. If you are looking for a few droid speeders for a Clone Wars mock, this is a really fun speeder. You could probably recolor this in grey. I don't think I have the pieces. I should have the pieces. The big piece would be that one on top. But you could use a 2x2 rounded off slope, couldn't you? Okay. I have a lot of dark red. I don't have any of those in grey. But you could recolor this into grey. I'm sure that piece on the top also exists in grey. That might be another rare element, rare colour for the element. But we have a lot of clips. Oh, my guess, without looking at the instructions, is we have some clips facing out for the weapons. I forgot about the fact the weapons clip in, and then facing back out. No, doesn't this go down somewhere? Maybe this goes down in the middle. But yeah, it would be shocking if we don't get any sort of, like any sort of whatsoever steam engine, steam train in the next couple of years. It's just a waiting game with Lego. When they're going to release it. All right, let's make sure I'm still on lego.com. Don't want it to refresh because I've been inactive and throw me into a queue. I'm sure you can all agree. Well, all of you, I don't know. Maybe a few Americans have jumped the gun and have already got your basket filled with sets that you want. I think it might be a bit too early though. Just a tad. There we go. That's what I was missing. It was the 2x2 brick that for some reason I did think was a part of the speeder. I don't know where it could have gone. And I think that also looks a bit nicer with a darker. I'm just a fan of dark red. Oh. Django ship will be mine. You know what? I'm happy there's more than one of them being sold, because I might just have to pick it up. We're gonna be hitting 10k subs sooner or later, and I might as well have the gift with purchase. That's what I think. Who has this pistol? Is it this little guy? So with the Django ship, the gift with purchase is the key wing, right? The key wing? The key ring. And the coin is the insider's reward. That's like 2,000 and something points. I think it works out to be £15. Yeah, so the keyring is the gift with purchase, which is quite nice. The keyrings are good quality. I do have the Han Solo Carbonite, which I've actually removed off the ring so it fits inside the minifigure display. I've also got the R2, which I recently put up behind me. So perhaps I will keep the Django keyring, but if not, I do also think it's quite good to buy it now, and then if you don't want the keyring, you always sell on the keyring. It's probably going to be worth like 15, 20, 25 quid. I feel like 15, 20 quid. Maybe about $20. Another spare pistol for our Coruscant Guard. So I might have to make the purchase of Django's, especially if it gets me that second clone gift with purchase. But do I open both gift with purchases? No, surely not. Do I need 6 clones? One of them's going on the wall, and I'll probably build a little like bench or something for the other 2 to sit at. You know, as we see them in Attack of the Clones, when they're sat and Kenobi and the Kaminoan are walking over. I can't remember which Kaminoan now. One to rock and one to stock. I like that. One to rock, one to stock. That does sound right. Oh, this guy needs... Okay, no dual pistols for them. Yeah, I think it would also help to cash back a little more on it. I do need to start looking at, you know, when there is a nice deal, on May 4th especially, picking up the gift with purchase, sitting on it for a bit. Maybe it's worth a little bit of money. But I still don't like the investing, the thought of investing. It's not investing, it's sitting on a Lego set so that someone years down the line, because there are going to be so many people, some of these gift with purchases are trying to be sold for crazy prices. But there are some people that are going to arrive to Lego too late and not have time to buy some of these older sets. So I really need to get in the mindset of, you know, maybe a good set comes out, picking up 2 of them. And then what am I getting tomorrow? Hello there, Fromania Bricks. I am picking up the U-Wing, Ahsoka's Eater, and probably a ton of the key rings, because that's going to fill order 1. And then that Django UCS ship, that might be order number 2. I might be doubling up my May 4th orders. I think this gift with purchase is worth it. Of all years to do it as well, this gift with purchase is one of the best that I've seen in quite some time. Hours away, yes. So 9:30 here in the 20 past 9, 9:30 here in the UK. So we're counting down very, very quickly, making sure I don't get kicked off the Lego website as well, because that cute. Yeah, it's the gift with purchase last year. The droid carrier was cool, load of droids, but no exclusive pieces. Whereas this has the minifigures, which those minifigures, even the legs are quite rare, because I have my own custom minifigure that I created, but it's got red legs because I don't own a Santa Claus, and that's like the only minifigure that comes with black boots and red legs. So definitely a worthy investment for sure. And who knows, if I get crazy enough, I might crack it open and use it in the Camino mark. No, I gotta tell myself I can't open it. No opening it. I gotta sit on it. I will be opening one of them for sure, though. But that Slave One as well. The Slave One does look nice, and I'm not deterred at all by the fact that the playset coming out later this year could also have the same minifigures, because the minifigures, UCS sets are cool, and they do usually have an exclusive minifigure. Yularen for the Venator. Actually, they don't always have exclusive minifigures. The TIE Interceptor didn't. Luke's Landspeeder doesn't. 3PO's available in a keyring as of May 1st, in a few hours' time. So they don't all have exclusive minifigures. Maybe it is the same Jango and Boba, but that Slave One. That Slave One is massive. Minifigure scale almost. It's got to be close. So that, I don't even know if it fits back here. We've got the 20th anniversary recoloured for Jango Slave One, which I'd like to point out fits 3 minifigures in the cockpit. Oh no, the seismic charge. I do have 2 seismic charges on the back as well. But 3 minifigures in the cockpit, Jango in the front, young Boba in the back, and an empty seat on the other side. Mad how small it is. But yeah, this looks good, but the UCS set is like double the size of this. And sometimes when it comes to Lego, bigger is definitely better. So I am really excited to be building, hopefully very, very soon. Again, I'll be building the UCS Jango Fett Slave One as soon as we hit 10,000 subscribers. As soon as, I don't know, maybe we'll stream it just before so we can catch the moment on camera. I don't know where that seismic charge went. That has now been lost to the space underneath the display. But yeah, that clone gift with purchase. It's a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. I'm also intrigued what we go with gift with purchases from here, because minifigures are well and truly back. In fact, not just minifigures, but sets. Aunt Beru, the droid carrier, I always forget the one that's between them, unless there is no one between them, in which case I always forget it. But we've also got the clone one this year. What are we getting next year? Slave One, what can we get? It's probably going to be original trilogy again. Don't see him doing another TIE fighter. Can we get that piece? It's bugging me. It's down here. I tell you what, I could pick it up. There you go. Here's the seismic charge for Jango Fett Starfighter, and I'm gonna have to, because you've made me pick it up, I'm gonna have to put it back and make sure it's just in the right place. These seismic charges, by the way, are made like the Lego games, no problem. It was bugging me too, and they fit just here in the front middle. No little gap for them like the UCS version. But the original Slave One is worth more than you'd think. So the original Slave One UCS set retailed for 170, 180 in that ballpark. Have a guess what it's worth now. And I will fact check myself on Brickset so that I don't make a fool of myself. And it was called the Slave One. It was called the Slave One, and 1 does trigger my be right back screen. 4K. Okay, I don't think it was that much. It was still in the hundreds, but no. Well, should we see the most it's going for? Because that's really what we're asking about here. The most it's selling for. Do we have a high to low? There we go. This isn't even the UCS one. This is the 2002 playset, new sealed in box, $10,000 for the 2002 Boba Fett set. What? It's got a limited box, but it's $10,000. What's up with that? Then we've got the little mini one from, I think they were Comic-Con ones. That's the whole collection for 4K. So there was a Slave One for 4K. This 2002 Lego set, this isn't the exclusive box, but the same set, pre-owned, Brick Owl, £500. This is the playset. This isn't even the UCS set. Anyway, on Brickset, which is where I get most of the prices. So it was selling retail for £180, so $200. It's now worth £300 used, $350 new in box. So almost double, new sealed, almost double, but that is the cheapest it's going for. Used is probably without that Jango Boba Fett minifigure. This is Boba Fett Slave One here, and Boba Fett's Slave One does come with an... Is it Empire Strikes Back? It's an Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett with unprinting, which we've seen in... Have we seen that since? Was that Return of the Jedi? No, the Boba mech. Yeah, the Boba Fett mech, and then later on used the Sarlacc. We've seen the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. They actually got the right one in this set. So nice to see Lego not using the Bobas the wrong way. Bespin Guard, Stormtrooper, Han in Carbonite. Same Han that we keep getting as well in Carbonite. And not many exclusive pieces by the looks. It's got that cockpit. It's very, very similar, if not the exact same mold. Maybe a few improvements on the new Slave one, but that's exclusive to the set. There's probably a handful of other pieces, but most of these look fairly common. Maybe the green slopes. The green rounded off pieces and the green slopes are probably exclusive to the set. But I do like the way the new one's built. But double the price. This new one's now worth that $250, and there's a load more bricks and so much more detail. It's probably even a little bigger. Boba Fett has no boots on the new set. Oh, that is, I'll tell you what, rather than leaning over, let me get Boba Fett. So I assume, let's have a little look. So this is this the Sarlacc? The Sarlacc pit with the side build of the skiff. And is this, his legs are not dual molded. I didn't even realize they were in the original Slave 1 UCS, you know. Oh, I did it again. I can't stop pressing 1. I gotta type out 1 from now on. I'll change it to like Control 1. It's just coming up with Jango's. I search in UCS Slave 1. Oh, there we go. So I don't think they were dual molded in the original one, but that would be pretty cool to see. I like Han's legs in the Cloud City Master Builder set. Pretty sure it's Cloud City with the blood stripes on the side, and they were dual molded, I think dark brown and black. But we do need to see some more dual molded legs in Star Wars. There are so many characters that just wear boots. That's it. Really should be getting them dual molded, but I guess Lego are working on it. They're slowly giving them. This is going to be tricky. Or not, because I do kind of remember how this goes together. But I am... Oh, what if this is on the bottom? Yeah, I've got this. Because then this... Okay. This might not be as tricky. Always get dual molded legs. Exactly. Hermione Granger gets triple molded legs. Have you seen the triple molded legs that Hermione Granger got? Black, dark bluish grey, and black, and they're short legs. They're triple molded short legs. What's up with that? I think that is absurd. That is completely absurd from Lego. Triple molded legs. I don't get it. It's on one of the... I think it might only be, you know, 1 or 2 of the Harry Potter sets. But it's... Let me find what set that is. It's triple molded. It's black. I don't even know what parts of the legs these are, honestly. I guess if you Google triple molded legs, I assume they'd show up. It's the Hermione. All right. The number means nothing to us because, well, I am not a Brickset dictionary, but it's the Hermione Granger. Which set is this figure from? Black at the top, then grey, then black boots. It might be this one from oh wait, is it the Hogwarts Express? Is it the Hogwarts Express? What is that? Hogwarts Express. Did I spell it right? There's 13 of them. I think it might be from the Giant Collector's Edition. There you go, 76405. Where is Hermione? Oh no, Hermione's not included. Not a little Hermione. Oh no, yeah, she is included. Imagine if they forgot Hermione. And there we go. Let me bring this up. There we go. Triple molded legs. Legs short with molded horizontal dark bluish grey stripes pattern. Triple molded legs. They've got the black, then the grey, then the black. And I wish this was like some side of leg printing. You're not getting printing that close to the boots. Triple molded legs. And this is on this Hermione Granger minifigure. And it comes with a skirt piece as well. There's a skirt going over these legs. And we're still getting triple molded legs. This is from the collectors. It is a UCS set. So these are going to be expensive. How expensive are these legs going for? Let's have a little look. They come on some... Oh, look at that. 8 minifigures. Oh, we've got... Is this Harry Potter? Are these the new norm for legs? Are these? Which sets does this come in? I really want the Forbidden Forest because I think that's the closest we're probably going to get to something like a Felicia or something like that. The Boathouse. I think my fiance might have the Boathouse set. I tell you what, I'll be back and I might be able to show them off. Hello, I've come to steal your Hermione Granger. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will return. Oh, I didn't realise that. So I've got the Hermione Granger minifigure here. I'm not sure if that. Hopefully the mic picked all that up. And we've saw. If only. Take a look at this. All right, I'm gonna have to see if I can break the focus of the camera and try and get this minifigure in focus. Look at what we've done to Hermione Granger. This isn't Hermione Granger. Whose face is this? This isn't Hermione Granger's face anyway. The point of this minifigure, sorry Hermione, look at these legs. Look at that. There's the back of them, just to prove that they are triple molded. You can't see in because they block up the studs. But look at that. And this is a minifigure that's available in the Boathouse, not just the UCS set. This is Silverleg 3PO taken to the next level. This is if Silverleg 3PO was included in every Lego Star Wars set that 3PO was included in with the silver boot. Why are we not getting this in Star Wars? Hermione Granger, I guess Hermione's appeared quite a bit if they've shown up in, what was it, 9 sets? 9 sets, 2 legs in the potions class. If you're including it for Hermione, might as well include it for the other, I guess, characters wearing skirts. 3 in the Great Hall. 3. There's 2 in the collector's edition. There must be another student. Wow. Hogsmeade Station as well. Are there any on sale? Oh yeah, 2025. So we've also got Charms class. That is probably the cheapest set. That is probably the cheapest of the bunch. Let's bring this over to Lego. Oh, over to Lego. Charms class is currently selling $17.99 here in the UK. Over in America, that is $19.99. I mean, the legs cost like 8p on Bricklink. You're probably not buying this. I'm just going to keep this minifigure for the rest of the stream. I don't know what we've done to the head of Hermione. I think we swapped it with Neville's. I think Neville's and Hermione's head have been swapped. Let's get this back up. So this is Neville's head. There we go. Neville's head definitely looks like Hermione's. And then we've got Hermione's head, which is Neville's. I'm not changing it back, just so you know. I apologize if this is going to bug you, but there's something a little funny about that. Scary, mortifying even. But there is something a little funny about having the head swap. I should do that in my next Star Wars. Next time I'm taking a look at a Star Wars set, I should swap the heads and see if anyone picks up in the comments, because I probably wouldn't. Your OCD's okay with it. That one can slide. It's just Lego on the floor. I can say my floor is Lego free. There's underneath this unit, there is a giant blue city boat. So technically it's not. But in terms of dropped Lego, I think I found all the loose little stud, little 1x1 tiles. All of them have been found. Either found or swept up. But no, they've all been found. They've all been put away. And yes, it's nice to be Lego free. It's not something I could say for the last quite some time. Hello there, Kelly. We were just talking about Hermione's cursed face and surprisingly detailed legs. Is there any Star Wars character you think needs triple molded legs or leg? You know, 3PO only has one dual molded leg. May 4th promo starts tomorrow in about 2 hours for me. 2 hours, 23 minutes. So, you know, we've got lego.com loaded. Hold on, did I just close down? No, we've still got Lego up. Thankfully, I didn't close it down. As long as you stay active on it, it shouldn't close down. TikTok indeed. Not TikTok, lego.com. I am reposting to TikTok though, a few shorts to try and revive it. Only seems right. And I know there's been a few requests for Twitter. In case you're unaware, I post every time I'm live. I didn't post today. Yeah, I'll post afterwards. But I need a Lego Thrawn. If I had space in my May 4th order, I would order another Ahsoka Duel on Prettier just to get another one of those Night Troopers. But I've already got 2 of those, and I don't have a second Thrawn to sell, I'm afraid. Thrawn is... I wonder when we see Thrawn pop up, because Thrawn's going to pop up at some point again in the Mandoverse. I wonder if they'll re-release Thrawn's minifigure, or if he'll undergo some changes to get... Because the Prettier set won't be around when Thrawn returns. Even if Thrawn returns in the Mando movie next year, the Prettier set might be on sale. That might be a decent time if Thrawn hasn't been released, but keep an eye out. Hold off for Thrawn's return on screens. The book series about Thrawn, my fiance has started reading them. Actually, I'd be willing to say the best book series I've ever read. The 3 original, you've got Thrawn, Alliances and Treason. Then I haven't read the original books yet. I've gone through a few of the, you know, Splinter of the Mind's Eye and stuff. Haven't read the original Thrawn books, but that's something I've got to get around to. I'm halfway through. I say I'm halfway through. I'm probably not halfway through, but I'm reading the second of the Thrawn Ascendancy books. If you think Thrawn is good, Thrawn Ascendancy is a really good trilogy of books. Especially when there's more Chiss about. You're asking for trouble putting that many Chiss in a room, but yeah, the Thrawn books. Lego sets based off books. Imagine the High Republic sets we could get. For better or worse. Thrawn should be around again though. With the involvement after Ahsoka, they're not going to let Thrawn go quietly. Thrawn's going to make a racket. And hopefully that racket includes a handful of really good looking Lego sets. Right, definitely can be improving this. We'll come back to that. Let's get the thing built before we start making any modifications this time. Yeah, Thrawn's book series is really good. The Aftermath trilogy So Thrawn is by Timothy Zahn. Timothy Zahn, that's easy to remember. And then I think it's Chuck Wendig did the Aftermath trilogy. That was the first... As far as I can remember, that was my first Star Wars book series, Aftermath, and that's a good series. So if you're wondering what to read after Thrawn, I recommend reading on to the Ascendancy's a prequel book. So it's not too closely, it's still about Thrawn and it's still written by Timothy Zahn, but it's not really, it doesn't affect much that goes on in the other Thrawn books. Mind you, I'm not sure much that goes on in each of the Thrawn books really plays in, well, it's Thrawn, isn't it? But besides the fact that it's all about Thrawn, I'm not sure they play much into each other. But yeah, no spoilers here from me. Don't worry about that. Stop talking about it just so I don't accidentally spoil it. I'm trying to think of another book series. I've read a few of them, a lot of the older ones as well. I do want to read the original Thrawn books. I think it'll be interesting to see which parts are taken from the original Thrawn, and maybe any references they drop in the new Star Wars content now that Thrawn's back. How do you clip on? Because I have a feeling... Oh, unless... Oh, okay. This might be needed to go... I don't know if this goes top or bottom. I feel like this is a bottom piece. We'll see, we'll see how right I am, or wrong, in a second. Nice, 1x1 in blue. And then this is what goes up. So we've got the legs, but that should have a Technic piece attached, I believe. And then the bar goes through that. Yeah, there we go. Can I get this one down though? Oh, not half bad. Actually, pretty easy. And then this cemented on top. I like the little brain that they include for this Tri-Droid. It's a really nice, translucent, glittery pink element that I haven't seen anywhere else. I'm sure it being Star Wars, it's featured in the Odd City and Friends set maybe, but yeah, so far, to my knowledge, I've only seen it in, well, this battle pack and the last one I built. There we go. One eye, two eye. If you're displaying it from the front, probably even leave out, if you wanted to build a nice little condensed mock, we like our condensed mocks here, you could leave out the third, maybe the third eye ain't much of a problem, but also remove this third leg and have it look like it's coming out of a wall, maybe a bit of rubble around it. And I think that'd look quite nice. Oh, and then I was thinking that these would be the body. They're not, they're little flick fire missiles that go around, which explains the red cones. I'm gonna have to check this through the instructions, but I think we've mastered the 7+ Lego set without instructions. Maybe that's not something to write home about, but yeah, a few different extra pieces. We'll worry about those later. I'm mainly intrigued with the droid, which way they built the core, built the torso. Perfect. Oh, that don't look nice. Got a bunch of lines in the dome there. Thankfully, it's a hollow piece, and it wasn't anything like it. As far as improving this, yeah, let's improve it. All right, I'm going to get some 1x3 tiles, but Lego also in... Well, it was in the Dark Trooper Attack. It was in the Mando set. Gave us... I think we get 2 in that set, and I do have 2 of those sets, so that does give me 3. Do I have an extra one? No. So I do have 4 of those. We've got these reverse 1x3 tiles, which go just underneath. And just smooth off. I normally like studs showing, but I think because we've got those round slopes, having that come down, maybe even get a little lightsaber. If we had Plo Koon's lightsaber, you could stab that into it and have like a Jedi Anakin, of course, bringing down one of these. And then 1, 2, 3. The only other change I want to make, because we are kind of flattening off, I like the little studs on the inside, and especially the anti-holes, but because we are tiling off everything, I have a few 1x3 grey tiles, so I might as well, whilst we're here, look, they just so happen to be on my desk. Right. We might as well apply them to the top of the legs. Smooth them off. And I do store a lot of my pieces brick built together, so I'm going to start stacking them. It does make for not just neater drawers and such. I mean, tiles can't be helped, they don't have any studs. But it's also easier if you need a few of them rather than digging around like you would on the pick a brick wall. I find it easier to just grab a stack of them and then, you know, they're ready to go. Ooh. Ooh. It looks quite nice now that I've smoothed it down. It probably don't look different on camera, but just getting rid of those studs makes it... I think that is what makes the difference between, you know, UCS sets. Even though UCS sets still have a lot of studs showing, they're still Lego sets. Lego don't try to hide that fact. But just where it counts, having those tiles and just making it a little sleeker, doing what Lego can to make it not look like Lego whilst also looking like Lego, I guess. It's quite nice though. And I also like the fact that the head pops in half like that, rather than giving us one piece that's all of it, using these existing Lego pieces, which have some holes in case you want to submerge it in water, but allows for, you know, Anakin to be stood on top here. We do have a little clip element that's been introduced in 2025, brand new element. Did make a video on a few of them at the start of the year, that you could clip to the front here, and it has a stud on top, so you can have a minifigure standing on top. But if you don't have that element, you can use one of the... Oh, we used it on the speeder. Did we not get a spare? No spare. Oh, you can use one of these little arms in any colour. You know, clip these to the front. The little hands that we use to clip on the top of the speeder, and they're just wide enough to get a minifigure on top. If you want to secure them in, you know, a little stud on top, like we saw, again, going back to the speeder, we saw one of these in a trans colour. So you can add a little stud. Now you get a minifigure leg on that and position it even hanging off. You can have this upside down and attach the minifigure to it. Perhaps someone's fallen and they've got like suction cup boots. I don't know why they'd be hanging on at this angle, but you can... It's easier to put it on the minifigure before you flip it upside down. I think anyone could have said that. But there you go. The clip doesn't seem to sink in, so I definitely recommend using one of the newer pieces. I might pick up another battle pack, you know, for May 1st as well. May the 4th. There you go. It's not May 4th. It's May the 4th. Because this was quite fun to build. I wonder what the quickest build time for this is. I'm going to have to try and speed build this battle pack. I wonder how many attempts it would make. But you could even add a little Hogwarts boat in there. And now we've got another little storage device. I've got a load of those big wheels that are in that head and in one of the other tubs down here. I've now got another little storage tub that I can put those big, not the massive, you know, power miner wheels, but the 3x3 wheels that I can set on it. Anyway, we have got quite a bit. Before I even think about wrapping up the stream, I'm going to forget about this being here. I'll give the droid that. Before I even think about it, I do want to show off what else I've been working on outside of the stream, because I've been building quite a bit of Lego outside of videos and the stream. Honestly, there are not enough days in the week for me to post absolutely everything. My thoughts on the new Star Wars sign. The brick built Star Wars logo. Honestly, I think I'm at peace with it now. It's nothing like the Sarlacc Pit and Skiff. Nothing like Keller and Beck Speeder. £60 for a Star Wars logo. If you've got every other set, minus a few of the more expensive ones, that's going to look amazing. Wait for a sale, for sure. Unless you want that May gift with purchase, wait for a sale. It's probably going to come quicker than you think. Inside a weekend in like a month or two. Is it June, July? When's Inside? I think it's the same day as Prime. Prime have a little event as well. Lego Insider Weekend. But Lego Insider Weekend for sure will have some sort of sales on it. You'll probably get like 4 times points straight away. Oh no, that's November. Yeah, the June one. There is one in June. I knew I wasn't going crazy. Don't wait till, well, November you've got Black Friday as well. Star Wars sign's going to look great, but take a look at your parts bin. How many of the pieces, yellow isn't a common color, which sucks. The Star Wars logo is always yellow. But how many of the parts do you already own? The Greeblin, if you're a Lego Star Wars fan, you own all that Greeblin, because those 2x2 and those 1x2 slopes and different bricks and plates, yeah, we get a lot of that. But you might be able to part it out for a little cheaper than the Lego set. That's Star Wars on the box alone. The out-of-box experience is great. But if you can buy some of the parts on Bricklink, is a sow even worth? I'm sure the parts are actually quite a lot, especially in yellow, quite an expensive color. But yeah, it's growing on me. It's growing on me. Seeing the big picture and imagine just the Star Wars logo here, surrounded by all the other grey, white, and red ships. The yellow does stand out. I think it'd be quite good if it's on Lego. The only people I see picking up that logo straight away are, you know, collectors, someone that looks at that, has the money to spend and goes, oh, that'll look good, and pays someone else to buy it because they might as well if they're paying that money for it day one, or people trying to get the gift with purchase. If you've not met it, if you want the U-Wing, nope, that wouldn't add up. If you want Chopper and you don't want any other sets, perhaps you're not into Andor, the U-Wing doesn't have any value, nor does K2SO. Maybe you're not even a fan of the prequels, dare I say it. It's criminal. I'm not encouraging it. But if you only want Chopper, maybe that Star Wars logo would look great alongside your Rebels display. Maybe you can even modify it to make a little Rebel setting. But yeah, I don't know. Thoughts on the sign? It's all right. It's all right, but it's not for me. You won't see me buying it, but I might see if I can part it out. Maybe there's an easier way to make it, because the sign does look so sleek, because they've filled in every little nook and cranny. Every little crack on that Star Wars logo is filled in. You could brick build it. You get a bunch of 2x4 or 2x2 bricks from the pick a brick wall and try to build it. It's not going to look as good, is it? But it would look pretty good on display. Anyway, the two sets that I have built, the two sets I have partially built, one of which I've partially built in the before on this channel, and it was building Chopper. So I think we're going to start with that one, because, you know, May 4th we're getting R2-D2. I took a look at what other R2-D2 sets I was missing. A lot of those big UCS sets, big Technic built. Oh, that Technic R2. Oh, that poor Technic R2. The B1 don't look half bad. Grievous from Not Long After. UCS Grievous is great. I'd love to see another version of that. But that R2-D2. That Technic R2-D2 does not look great. But what does look pretty good is this R2-D2. Buildable R2-D2. Which we built Chopper here on the channel quite some time ago. I think that was before this set even came out. And I have modified this a little bit with some of the parts I have laying around. Something really cool about the Technic figures are your guilty pleasure. Altogether, I bet they look quite good as a complete collection, but I don't think I'll be trying to build that R2-D2 anytime soon. Try to get them whenever you can. Touche. This is the R2-D2 from the Droid Builder pack. Basically resembles any of the other R2 units from that set. Are they all R2 units? I don't think the Imperial one is. Something cool about this is the legs pop off, but the bottom half of the torso is meant to pop off a bit easier than that. I don't know why that was so difficult, but you can use this with Chopper's legs and create a little Chopper-sized R2-D2. Look, R2-D2's got the same function. Imagine if in the Skywalker Saga, R2 could split in half and take over two. We just get R2 and 3PO as 2 players, but 4 players. The bottom is meant to pop off for, I think, a rubber duck in the same instructions. But this R2-D2 is pretty fun to build. I quite like these buildable droids. They're not to scale with R2-D2, but they're to scale with Lego Astromechs. The legs, way too bulky, way too wide, and unlike the Lego version, these actually have a third leg. You can build a third leg real easy for the minifigure. I haven't built one for a while, so let's get the pieces needed. All you're going to need is a 1x1 half circle tile and a frying pan stud, which is the 1 length bar sticking out of the stud. Position them both together so that the flat side of the tile is on the surface, on whatever surface you're using, and the bar is sticking up. And then squeeze that into the bottom of the astromech. And there you go, you've got a third leg for each and every droid. Imperial, you're going to want to switch these both to black. I think the frying pan stud in white is pretty rare because I don't have any in my collection. Maybe it's just not a Star Wars piece, but that is how you very, very quickly and very, very easily put together a legal third leg for astromechs. You can use the little claw, the little tooth element, but I prefer not stressing out the rubber pieces, especially when I don't own too many of them. I feel like they were in so many sets when I was young. I just didn't pick up enough of them. The arms are held in by Technic. I think the original chopper that we built here, we used a 2x2 jumper, did we not? To hold in the arms. And you probably can balance R2-D2. Hello there, Kaka the King. You can balance R2-D2 on that third leg. And it's even more secure, dare I say, than the Vader mech we built for 5,000 subs. But this R2 will be, until I need the pieces, chilling on the display. There is a printed tile 2x2 in the middle with R2's plugs. They're vents, aren't they? I always thought they were little plug sockets on R2-D2, but I'm pretty sure they're vents. Maybe they are some sort of plug. I prefer to use the 2-length axle with a 1x1 round with a hole and a cheese slope. That is quite cool. I think the only thing I have against that, because I've probably seen someone else do that and copy that, I don't think I'd have put that together. The only thing I have is the cheese slope isn't perfectly flat on the base, but it depends if your mock's got studs showing, if it's tiles. Ingots are a little different to tiles, so that is still a really good way to do it. And I think it'd probably be a bit more similar to how they've done it here. We do need to find some sort of element. Maybe we can even make one. A 1x1 cheese slope with a stud coming out. Maybe we could even use that brand new 1x1 2-plate tall snot brick. Maybe that could connect to the bottom. I only have one in black right here. But the good thing with this, it doesn't really look like a foot because it's rounded. But if we could have this in white, it would work with any surface. You know what? I think your cheese slope, your 1x1, is better than this. But at the same time, if this was in white, for one element, this doesn't look too bad. This isn't bad for just one element attached to the bottom of an astromech. That is pretty cool. Are there any other pieces we can use? Because I guess if you wanted to use that with the two length axle, two length bar, two length axle. Ah, I guess the axle would probably hold in a stud. Would you need the stud if you're using the axle? Can an axle hold a cheese slope, or is a cheese slope not deep enough to hold up to an axle? I'm going to try it, but I am curious if anyone else has given that a go, because I feel like an axle, does it not? I guess because it's rounded off, yeah, it doesn't. There's not enough friction in there for it to hold the cheese slope. But the 2x2 length bar, oh yeah, the axle with a bit of blue tack. And I will say, the axle, because it's got these little like teeth in it at the end, these little teeth marks, it might be easier to pull out than the bar. If you saw the ARC 170 modification earlier, we had to get rid of 2 of those bars, and we were saved by the fact we could put a bar in the other side. I wouldn't want to try to pull it out the astromech, but a little bit of blue tack, you know, and the axle would work quite well. I'm going to have to try that, because I do know the bar has the slope at a funny angle. I wonder if having the cheese slope directly in, I feel like that would be too much the other way. I think the 2-length bar is better than using just the axle and a bit of blue tack. Chopper, or the Old Republic droid. Oh yes, I forget about the Old Republic droid's brick built. It's got like a 2x2 tile at the front. I wouldn't mind if Lego were still making Astromechs that way, because it's not a terrible design. We'd need a rounded off 2x2 tile, but maybe it's because it's like coming up to 15 years old, that set. I think it's 13 years old. Maybe it's just the nostalgia of building that time and time again. But this R2 buildable. The head, I think, also... Oh, there's a few things for the head. You got like the moustache, the hat, the bow tie as well. But this isn't the only R2-D2 I have built, because I also have this little guy right here, the brick heads with the 2x3 printed tile. Again, I've decaled both of these because, well, I probably could have ordered these just in time to arrive by the May 4th. I built these both earlier, but I decided to decal. It was a bit quicker, and as I was printing the decals for the other droids, this is the reason right here. This took up 2 slots, that took up 1 slot. That's the reason I don't have any duplicates of the decals. I do normally print spares for at least some of them that I think could go horribly wrong. Mainly Plo Koon's droid with that brown backing. If there's any streaks through that, it shows up a lot clearer than the white decal paper. But yeah, R2-D2. I've got an R2-D2 collection going. We've got these two, as well as, haven't really shown them off, but I did in March, shown them off to members, mind you. I did in March pick up the 2017, look at that, sort of in the middle of these two, the 2017 May 4th gift with purchase. This is all we got in 2017. No Clone Wars set, no, you know, Falcon polybag. This was the polybag. And it does come with an exclusive dish and an exclusive 2x1 printed tile and a few other parts that might not be incredibly common. Actually, the bottom half of this is built nearly identical to the droid builder in terms of how that bottom leg, that third leg, is being held on. But it's a really neat little Lego set. So I'm happy I finally have all 3 of these R2-D2s built on top of the minifigure that's coming in the R2-D2 set, on top of the bigger figure that is the R2-D2 set, and also a few other R2-D2s laying around. I haven't got round yet. I haven't fancied my chances pulling this apart and trying to get a light up in the Princess Leia hologram. I don't think I'll be able to get one in R2 because, well, this R2 is just a bubble head, but the sandy detail on R2 is really nice. Maybe we could get a few turnpieces on the Lego model, but I would like to add a little LED into there. I'm sure I'll probably go through this May 4th when I was building the other R2. The R4 dome to recolor him. Yeah, R4. Because the R4 dome came in the UCS Kenobi Starfighter, didn't it? So that's probably really expensive. And there's no way you can decal this. But I wonder if anyone sells custom printed domes like this. This is one of those things that I'll have to look into if we ever get a UV or pad printer here for the channel. Because that's something that would be really cool, just selling a bunch of these custom domes to recolor these droids. Yeah, the other R2-D2s, I think I will leave for May 4th when we're building that giant R2-D2. And speaking of Kenobi's Delta, I've done so many modifications. This set probably has more videos than anything else. 50 plus quid just for the R2 dome. Remember seeing it on clearance. Oh, all those Star Wars sets that shops couldn't get rid of, seeing it on clearance. And the most recent one, I'm going to jump forward a bit in time because when I was young, you know, you don't have the money for these. Oh, can we get this set? It's on clearance. It's like half price. And now they're worth a lot more. But I saw for 2/3 off Boba's Palace. I think it retailed for 90 or 120. So it's 30 quid in... I want to say Argos. I want to say it was my local Argos that had it in stock. For weeks, I saw it 30 quid and I couldn't really justify the Boba's Palace. Didn't have space for it to display. It was just going to sit in the box. It's not worth much more. It's worth about what it sells for. Sainsbury's have the Kelleran Beck Speeder for 15 quid. I went to my local Sainsbury's. They've removed it. They haven't stocked it for months. I used to work in a Sainsbury's and I know Sainsbury's... When a Sainsbury's Lego set goes on sale, sometimes there are a few good deals in Sainsbury's. I have seen, I think it was Tennu Temple reduced to £15. I saw almost a full shelf. We're talking about 30 of this set that they must have found a crate of I almost swiped them all up just for that Yoda torso. Not worth 15 quid. Figure's a lot cheaper to mass buy elsewhere, but I went to the... They had 50! They had 50 Keller and Beck speeders. I think 15 quid ain't half bad for it. That's basically a battle pack at that point, isn't it? So I might have got it if I saw it, but yeah, nah, none in my local Sainsbury's. And then when I went back for the Tennu Temple, yeah, that had all cleared out as well. I'm so sure someone had the same idea as me. But this is my most popular mock on the channel. Ooh, can I say that? Actually, I think the 332nd, in terms of mocks, I don't know the most popular. It's either the 332nd speeder bike, it could be Captain Rex's minifigure scale wire wing. It's one of those, but this is one of the most popular mocks on the channel. And every single time I've put this together, I've had the white stripes both point off one direction until I was taking a look at, I think it might have been the set. I can't remember why, but turns out both sides, this external 1x3, I flipped round the wrong way. For how long has this set been out? Like a year, something like that? I've had it around the wrong way the entire time. And yep, no one has noticed. Thousands of us have been fooled into, well, not thinking it's the right way. I thought it was the right way. But yes, I have removed these as well. We improved the arc earlier today, but I've also removed the stickers on Kenobi's Delta and replaced them with teeth. So the main build is roughly the same. For this modification, I'll be popping off the entire 2x4 of my minifigure scale Kenobi Delta, but you can see we've got two of these 1x3 stickered tiles on Kenobi's Delta, which don't look all that good. I mean, they'll definitely be replaced with that new 1x2 half tile, half wedge tile that LEGO are making a lot of. It's on the new Plo Koon Delta, so we'd definitely be getting this element. Just at the front, we've got two of them in white. We'd be getting that on the back of Kenobi's Delta. But the piece didn't exist or wasn't very common at the time. So instead, I'm replacing that 2x4 with a 1x4 plate 1x1 tile. And those two 1x3 tiles with the stickers, I'm replacing for little teeth. Little 1x1 teeth in white. And I think they look better than the stickers, the teeth. I get it's not the exact angle that LEGO were going for, so you can see why LEGO didn't use the teeth. But I really like the teeth because they have that angle both ways, which kind of looks like these scorch marks are spreading out. So that's one sticker we got rid of. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There was 13 stickers on this. It's tiny. Whoa, the LEGO version was a little bit bigger. But 13 stickers. We've got it down to 11. Should be a printed. This Republic logo should be a printed tile. This one and the other one that we saw on the ARC 170. This one right here. Bring back that old 2x2 round V-wing tile. Print both of these. Please, LEGO, give us some printing, because this one right here could be printed on a black 2x2 tile. This one, this Republic logo could be printed. This is the Grand Army, the Republic logo. Print this on a 2x2 red round, dark red round tile, and reuse them for all the other sets. There are so many Republic ships. Same with the Empire. We've got a few Imperial and Rebel tiles printed, like this Luke mech just behind me. The Rebel logo is printed on a tile. I have this in red from the Luke mech. I have it in blue from one of the old Hoth battle packs, I want to say it is, which likely also came with my red Imperial logo. And we've got, I think it was printed on one of the solo sets as well. We got like a 1x1 printed Imperial logo, you know, I guess it is a logo, but we really do need to see those printed because, well, they're even used at the back. We could get a little 1x1 Republic logo printed on the back. But we've got about an hour and 45 minutes until May 4th. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there and record a little something for a video. I am going to be recording my May 4th experience. It'd be lovely to stream it, but I don't want my card details getting out on the internet. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there and start preparing for May the 4th. May 1st, don't worry, we haven't streamed for like 4 days. It's been going for 3.5 hours now. So let's not make this the longest stream. We've got to knuckle down, build R2-D2. That should be about a 3-hour build. We'll see how much I waffle in that stream. And I think this guy, the Dark Falcon, is probably going to be split up into 2 streams. This is like twice the size of the R2-D2 box, but this is going to be a really fun build. We're building this at the end of May, and as soon as we hit 10k subscribers, unless it's in the next like 3 to 4, 2 to 3 to 5 working days, which is what Lego delivery takes, we will also be building Jango Fett's Slave One. That's going to take a few more streams. I don't know if I will be going live Friday for the Fortnite event. We'll have to see download time. Saturday we're building the U-Wing, Sunday building R2. So it'll be next week that we play Fortnite. I'll have to hop on just before the update. We'll go live Wednesday, and I think there's an update on Thursday. Yeah, so Fortnite updates Friday, and we're going live on Wednesday. So we should catch the first week. I'm so excited to see what Fortnite is like in Star Wars. Excited to see the Battle Pass as well. We got the 5 characters from that. I made a community post, but that is all for today's stream. Anyone chilling, waiting around for May 4th, perhaps you've been watching this before you make your purchase, good luck. I hope you get everything that you can want from lego.com, and hopefully the gift with purchases are with us. Good luck on your buys, and may the 4th be with you always.